Welcome everybody to Ortmeyer Stadium. We have ourselves a Skyac matchup between the Laverne Leopards and the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. I'm Miguel Navarro with my partner Zachary Gretsch. Zach, how are we feeling for the game today?
Feeling great, alive and well. It's going to be hopefully an upset brewing or a pure domination of football. But Ortmeyer Stadium is alive and well. Kingsmen, Leopards. It's going to be a battle here in a Skyac matchup.
For sure. I think we have ourselves a nice matchup between two teams. They're on the opposite sides of the standings, but every given Saturday, something can happen, and I expect the Leopards to come out aggressive.
Here we see the standings with Cal Lutheran with a 2-0 in Skyac record. Overall 4-0, they are undefeated, and the Laverne Leopards are looking for their first win. They're 0-2 in Skyac and 0-3 overall, and here could be their first win tonight.
Some players to watch for the University of Laverne Leopards is number 15, Tyler McCown, the running back. 31 attempts on the season for 37 yards, a 3.4 average, and 34.67 yards a game.
And the next person, Showtime, Jimmy Rumsey. 10 receptions, 6.9 receiving yards per game, 17.4 yards. And second in Skyac with 87 receiving yards total, 2 touchdowns receiving.
And the quarterback for our Leopards is number 18, Amias Hart. He has an 100.58 rating, 31 completions on 64 attempts, 2 interceptions, 327 yards, giving him 5th in Skyac, and 109 yards a game average for 3 touchdowns.
And up next for the defensive side of the ball for the Leopards, 52, Jonathan Scott, the linebacker with 24 tackles total, 3rd in Skyac alongside Dart Martin, the linebacker with 19 tackles, 5th in Skyac, the pair of linebackers to cause trouble for the Leopards.
And for Cal Lutheran, their running back, number 4, J.D. Sumlin, 72 attempts on the season, 325 yards, giving him 1st in Skyac, a 4.5 average, 81.25 yards a game, and a whopping 7 touchdowns.
On the other side, too, for Cal Lutheran, you're going to see Tenoris Merkel, the wide receiver, who's been a great threat for the Kingsmen. 15 receptions, 6.93 receiving yards per game, 254 yards receiving, 4th in Skyac, 63.50 yards a game average, and 2 receiving touchdowns.
And the quarterback for Cal Lutheran is number 5, Joe Farley. Farley's coming in with an 129.39 rating, 52 completions and 91 attempts, 3 interceptions on the season, 174.25 yard average, giving him 3rd in Skyac, 697 yards on the season with 4 touchdowns.
And to wrap it up for the defense, Drew Neves, the old outside linebacker with 24 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 6 in Skyac with 2 sacks, and Arthur Order, the inside linebacker, with 19 tackles, 18th in Skyac, and 1.5 sacks.
And for this game, the Leopards are coming off a 12-34 loss to Pomona Pitzer, whereas Cal Lutheran's entering into this game with a 22-17 win, where they scored 19 unanswered points in the second half to come back and keep that undefeated record. Zach, the Leopards are looking up to try to pull off an upset. How are they going to be able to do that in this game?
I'll tell you, number 1, they have to make a statement. The offense has to play balanced, competent football, but you know what? Who's starting the ball for them? It's going to be their defense. Scratching this Cal Lutheran offense, they have to be grimy, they have to be hungry, and they have to devour this powerhouse of an offense and team in Cal Lutheran. And they have to start with the attitude of confidence as they're led by Coach Richard Sanchez.
I completely agree, Zach, and this Leopard team's going to come out just playing tenacious, understanding that anyone can win with a given 60 minutes of football. Here's the kickoff for the kicker, Joshua Werkgeiser. Werkgeiser's kick's going to go all the way back to inside the 10-yard line. Here comes the return for Cal Lutheran. They're going to take it up the right side, and the Leopards are going to swallow him up, but he's continuing to drag about 3 defenders with him and move himself past the 25-yard line. And here comes that Kingsman offense.
Yeah, you see right there already, Tenoris Merkel, the receiver for the Kingsmen. He is flashy, and he is somebody that if you don't get off the first tackle, he will get more yards after catch and just yards off the reception in general.
Here comes Joe Farley. Joe Farley's entering into this game with 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the season. But the Kingsmen are known for their very run-heavy attack. J.D. Sumlin leads SCIAC with 7 touchdowns, so keep an eye on him throughout this game. Here we go, under center. First play of the game, it's going to be handed off to Sumlin. Sumlin's going to take it up the right side, and he's going to get a big gain and a first down on the first play of the game for the Kingsmen.
Yeah, you already see the power run to the right, and this is a run-heavy team that averages a lot of yards on the ground, Miguel, and already putting their willpower to say, hey, we are a run-heavy offense, and we are not going to stop doing that. So, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Completely agree. I think that the matchups for Cal Lutheran, especially on that front, are definitely in their favor. It's going to take a group effort for the Leopards to overcome that. Expect a lot of run in this game for Cal Lutheran. Here's the snap, pressure coming from the Leopards, and it's going to be swallowed up for a small gain there, setting up a second down.
Yeah, it seems like a 3-headed monster, too, with this Kingsman attack. You're going to see a lot of Gabe Landless, J.D. Sumlin, and you're also going to see another running back in depth as well.
Definitely 3 guys, a 3-person attack with that running back crew. The main man to keep your eye on, though, is Sumlin. Landless back in the game at running back for Cal Lu. They're going to take the snap. They're going to hand it off again to Landless. Landless is going to break a tackle and get past midfield, and another first down on the run for the Kingsmen.
That's a credit to the offensive line making that gap right there for the running back. And at the end of the day, you see Landless just finding his way in that hole. Credit to the O-line right there to move the chains and the pressure already towards Laverne territory.
That was Justin Mondini there with the tackle. Mondini's coming off a game where he got a big interception. And talking to Coach Sanchez, Zach, he's one of the leaders of this team. So expect him to be all over the field at that safety position for Laverne.
Got to find that confidence within from number 8.
Play action from Farley. Farley looking to throw. He's going to go down the left side deep. He's going to come back to the ball, and it's going to be dropped. That throw from Farley was well underthrown. The receiver, Woodward, tried to come back to it and wasn't able to. The first passing attempt for the Kingsmen is incomplete.
Yeah, Tyler Woodward coming in today has 16 receptions, 202 yards, averaging 12.63 a catch, and 50 receiving yards a game with 1 receiving touchdown. So again, that's somebody besides Merkel that Farley will look to throw the ball to.
Here we go, second down, a rare passing attempt from the Kingsmen, especially down the field. Farley looking to overcome that now. Man in the backfield, they're going to hand it off. And he's going to be swallowed up at about the line of scrimmage. Another running play there from the Kingsmen. On the ground there was Jordan Sanua. Meki Duluth there with the run.
And like I said, it doesn't matter who's running that backfield out there, Miguel. You're going to see in Duluth right there getting some action early on. I think this rotation of backs is going to be something to key on for Cal Lutheran. Having fresh legs is going to be something big for an offense that just wants to keep the wheels turning.
For sure, you want to keep those chains moving. And for the Leopards defense, they're trying to get that offense on the field. First, third down of the game for either side. Farley's going to hand it off to Duluth again, and Duluth is going to make a man miss and cut inside the 30-yard line. And a first down for the Kingsmen. They keep this drive alive. Big play there.
Hey, tackled by Dylan Reiner right there, the linebacker for the Leopards. Good way to just stop, almost we could say, a touchdown run in brewing if he did not make that tackle.
The identity for this Cal Lutheran team is going to be that run. It's going to be a big aspect for them, and it's very key that they get it going early. They hand it off to Duluth, this time on the right side. A nice play there by Laverne to swallow that one up for a tackle for a loss.
That was Dart Martin, that ball hawk of a linebacker for the Leopards. Again, making a crucial stop right there. And we'll see if they keep going on the ground, Miguel. It's been a lot of run, and one pass attempt so far.
I think a lot of the times when your identity is the run, if you establish it early, you're going to have success throughout the game. So a nice start there for CLU. Curious to see what type of approach they bring out here on a 2nd and 12. Normally a passing situation for most, but this Kingsman offense is willing to run the ball at will, and it looks like it's going to be a timeout there for the Kingsmen.
Well, I definitely want to say something, Miguel, right here. Off the breakdowns within first downs, 49 rushing attempts in rushing plays for in first downs compared to just 28 pass plays. So that means a run-heavy dominant team in the Kingsmen. And again, they're showing that identity early on, and that's the Leopards' job, to go tackle these guys, make them not miss, have it technique fundamentally sound.
Sure, and if you're watching Flow Sports and LVTV, Laverne Community Television during this timeout break. Looks like a lot of run, like we've been saying, Zach, and early in this game, they're getting themselves in prime position to score. Another aspect for this Cal Lutheran team is when they get in the red zone, they score more times than not. They're 15 for 17 in the red zone as they're inching their way closer to it. The Leopards need to do everything in their power to keep them out of that situation.
Leopards in a cover 2 look right now.
They're going to snap it. Farley looking to throw again. His second throwing attempt. Farley's going to use his legs over the middle and drop himself down before he gets hit for a solid little gain and another 3rd down opportunity.
Yeah, Joe Farley, just seeing that there's a lot of space ahead, a lot of the secondary going with their man in coverage and a lot of gap. Hey, the quarterback, that's a smart play. If there's nothing down the field, take off, make a manageable 3rd down and live another day.
The Kingsmen are willing to use their legs even at the quarterback position. Back in for the Kingsmen. It looks like the Loud gonna get the running opportunity here on this 3rd and 6. Already 1 for 1 in the game on 3rd down for the Kingsmen, looking for 2 for 2 here. The Leopards defense needs a stop. Farley drops back, looks to throw over the middle, and it's gonna be batted down and incomplete.
And what another man again, Justin Mondini. The strong brute of a force. He goes in the weight room. He understands it, but right there, football smarts, smacks that ball down and says, not so fast. I'm a Leopard, and I'm trying to king him down and pin him down.
First impression of that play is it looked like the Kingsmen were going to lock up a 1st down with that pass, but Justin Mondini gets his hand on it, bats it down, a big incompletion, setting up a field goal opportunity here. It's going to be the kicker, Matthew Montanga. The kick is up for Montanga. And it looks like it's going to be wide left and no good, and the Leopards escape the first drive, not giving up any points.
Hey, you dodge bullets like you dodged that one. The Leopards saw that the Kingsmen were driving down. They took a stand, and they gave a big uppercut to that Kingsman offense. And so far, no points.
Matthew Montanga coming into this game was 4 for 5 on field goal attempts. He misses there. And now here comes that Leopards offense led by Amias Hart. Amias Hart coming off a game where in that first half he was very efficient. Not so much in the second half, throwing 2 interceptions, which were costly for the Leopards in that loss. But he's looking to overcome that. He's got McCown in his backfield, and he's going to motion over Noah Allen. Hand off to McCown. McCown goes to the left side, and he's going to be taken down, setting up a 2nd down on the first play of the game for the Leopards.
That's good to see. Servite strong. I always say the alumni of Servite High School, Tyler McCown, one big running back, was averaging 3.5 yards a carry, and he wants to make it known, hey, I know you're the #1 rushing defense, but I'm going to bring something, a pack to the punch, and number 15's got that.
Yeah, McCown's coming off a 15 attempt, 80-yard, 1 touchdown performance against Pomona Pitts. They're expecting him to be involved early. They're going to motion over McCown. Hand off again to McCown. McCown's going to cut it back to the left side and push himself forward at about the 30-yard line. And now a 3rd down for the Leopards. And Zach, this is an aspect of the play that the Leopards need to improve on. They're coming into this game 11 for 40.
Yes, 11 for 40 indeed. And that's something you got to convert right here. Get your playmakers wide open. They're giving you I want to say a cover 3 look because off the coverage, but now they're maybe showing man. So right here, just find the space, the hole in the defense. Look for Amias Hart to pass his ball.
Hart definitely going to be in a passing situation. Instead, Hart's going to keep it himself on the QB draw, and he's going to be taken down well short.
Hey, well, I'm 0 for 1 today, but anyway, in the quarterback draw, you feel it. And you know what? He did move the chains. He saw the yardage manageable. And at the end of the day, get this run offense and running game, more specifically, going. And that right there shows it.
Big play there by Laverne to go 1 for 1 on 3rd down conversions. They're at a spot in the game where you left without points on the defensive side, trying to get them early and get comfortable. Amias Hart with McCown in his backfield. Hart's going to take the snap and look to his left and passes it to McCown. McCown with the grab, and he barrels his way forward for a gain of about 5 or 6 there.
Let me tell you one thing, Miguel. The swing pass is the quarterback's best friend. Get an easy completion to get going in this game. And right here, the quarterback rating for Hart coming into this game was 100.58. And right there, it's a 158 perfect passer rating off that. 1 for 1 completion. Boom. Make a manageable 2nd down.
And I definitely love that approach. You know, Amias Hart's had a little bit of trouble with the completion percentage, but being able to get that first pass out of the way, it's good for the confidence. Hart now is going to motion over his receiver. They're going to hand it off to McCown again. McCown's going to go up to the left side and be taken down for a small gain. And now another 3rd down set up here for the Leopards.
Drew Neese, another tackle right there for the Kingsmen. You've seen him flying in that outside linebacker position, and he's not going to go away. But you know what? It's matchups against matchups, and those are big 2 strongest people on the field with McCown against Neese. So keep an eye out on that.
3rd and 4 here on the 39-yard line for Laverne. Already 1 for 1 on 3rd down chances, looking for 2. Hart looks to throw to his left side, and it's going to be batted down by the Kingsmen, setting up 4th down. A nice play there.
Saw Jabari Hughes right there on that attempt, trying to get the reception, but that's great coverage by the Kingsmen, especially playing off more of a zone approach. And one thing, too, is not giving up these easy completions now puts the Leopards right here on the punt with Wertheiser.
Wertheiser now out for the punt. The Leopards punted 9 times last week against Pomona Pitzer. Wertheiser also had a fumble on one of these punting attempts, so special teams is definitely something you want to see some improvement on for the Leopards this week.
He has 19 punts today, or in total in the season, with 707 yards.
The punt's going to go short, and it's going to bounce in front of the kick returner. He's going to swallow it up, and he's going to fumble the ball. It's loose, and the Leopards recover it. Waiting for the referee signal, but it looks like Laverne has it, and they do.
You know what, Miguel? Every single time we're on the call, man, I'm going to say something. It happens earlier in the 1st quarter. Once again, Julian Martinez finds the recovery. Miguel, is it just because every single time we're here together, we're going to spark the play off a fumble? Well, that's happened, what? This is the 4th time that's happened with us?
Yeah, it happened for sure twice last week for Laverne, and in both of those fumble drives following it, they scored a touchdown. They're in prime field position here on the 15-yard line. Big play for Laverne.
Yeah, and I think, look, when you see this replay right here, you're going to see the fact that the ball just pops loose off the hit, Miguel. Like his own guy, friendly fire. Julian Martinez finds the last play and it says, hey, you're my tackling dummy. Just I'm sorry.
Throw by Hart, it's going to be batted down there. Another swing pass attempt to get Tyler McCown involved, incomplete. I think this is big for Laverne here, Zach. They get great field position. They're set up in a prime position to score. And last week, we saw this twice. They scored twice. This is huge.
Not just huge. A great opportunity to be the first one to score against the top team in SCIAC.
Most definitely. And definitely early, they've gotten Tyler McCown involved. Amias Hart takes the snap. Play action to McCown. Hart's going to roll to his right and throw. He's got Noah Allen. And Noah Allen is in for 6. Touchdown, Laverne.
Well, you knew some speedster was going to go. It's the definition. Find the defense. Find what they're giving you. Hart to Allen. Allen flying high. Hey, his father was a Philadelphia Eagle. Well, he just flew high right there. Noah Allen, spark plug, I like to say. And the Leopards just tacked the first punch into the Kingsman's mouth.
And that was huge. One of the keys to the game was getting those playmakers involved. Noah Allen is definitely one of those playmakers. Just one catch last week, already one here in the first, and it's a touchdown. And here comes Wertheiser for the PAT. He's going to be able to punch that through the middle, and the Leopards now lead 7-0, and that's something also they struggled with last week. They went for two twice. They were not able to get it twice. Now their kicker's healthy. They punch in the PAT, and the Leopards have a lead early.
Hey, it's kind of that same waypoint telekinesis, Miguel. You were thinking picking up right where I left off, we talked about in the meeting. Trusting the kicker. Hey, don't leave any points on the board, especially against this team that's hungry for points always. Hey, it's 7-0. And you know what that means? The Leopards are alive and well, and let's see how the Kingsmen sharpen their swords and try to battle against them right now.
Yeah, early on, the Leopards, when you're facing a team where on paper you're just outmatched, to get that lead early, get that momentum early, it's key. And talking to Coach Sanchez, something that he really emphasized with us is keeping that momentum. The Leopards have had good starts almost every week they've played. They just haven't been able to carry it throughout the course of a game. So it's going to be great to see if they've developed and improved to try to hold on to this lead.
Hey, basic fundamentals right there, like you said, Miguel.
Sumlin's going to take this return, and he's going to cut it up towards the middle. And Sumlin's still on his feet towards the right side, and he's bringing the defender with him. He's going to be taken down at about past the 40-yard line, setting up good field position for the Kingsmen.
Hey, you got to give credit to someone right there, and even bigger credit right there from Wertheiser saving another probably touchdown play right there from Sumlin. That's the punter and the kicker showing you, hey, I got a little hit stick to myself as well.
Sumlin wearing a lot of hats on this CLU team, leading the team and all of Skyac with 7 touchdowns in the year on the kick return. What a nice one. And looks like we're going to be waiting for a call here from the referee.
We're going to go ahead and keep the time on the field. 5:56 remains in the first quarter.
Looks like we had a little bit of trouble there with the scoreboard as they're trying to get the time right here, but great job by the Leopards to gain that momentum, Zach, and they're in a nice spot here early. Farley back in at quarterback, Sumlin in the backfield. They're going to motion over the receiver, and they're going to hand it off here on the sweep. Running out towards the sideline for a small gain there. It was to Norris Merkel.
Hey, you got to get your players early, your playmakers early in this game. Norris Merkel is somebody that needs to have the ball in his hands. And right now, 53 rushing yards for the Kingsmen in total. And I believe that's going to be something to keep your eye on. But also, right now, it's a tale of two different halves. The Leopards have 13 rushing yards, but they are up 7-0.
Oh, for sure. And they even use those big receivers on the run. Merkel with 254 yards on the season. Farley's going to hand it off to Sumlin. Laverne's going to try to tackle, and they're not able to. He's going to make a few man miss. And Sumlin's going to get a first down here. And he's done that all season for them.
And Miguel, they're finding a gap in the zone from the defensive line of Laverne. They're keying off that right side, or their left side, excuse me. Our left side, their right side. And you're seeing a difference, so keep the eye out. It's the battle between the offensive line, the guards and tackles on their right side to our defensive linemen. And that's what's been a gash for the Leopards defense so far.
Farley's going to motion over his tight end to that right side. Now they're going to hand it off. No, play action to Sumlin. Rolling right is Farley looking to throw, and he's unable to. Great pressure there by Laverne, forcing the incompletion. It was intended for Davion Gonzalez, the tight end.
Credit Coach Robertson for the Leopards, the defensive coordinator. Again, we talked about him early on. He's been having back-to-back weeks early game plan, and right now he's making Joe Farley on the pass game very tough for them, and credit the defense in general.
Farley looking to hand it off to Sumlin. Sumlin has it again. He's going to be taken down for a small gain, and a 3rd and short here for Laverne.
I believe that was Marlon Brown on the tackle, and he is one big, fierce defensive player, Miguel, and he's going to bring some chaos. If they give him any more open space, he's going to make those Kingsmen pay.
He's been a big factor for Laverne on defense. He forced the fumble last week. Now with a nice tackle, 3rd down. The Kingsmen are 23 for 55 in these situations this season. They're going to hand it off to Sumlin. Sumlin trying to get to that 1st down marker. He's unable to. Laverne forces a 4th down, a big play there. Tackle there by Dylan Reiner.
Dylan Reiner, can I just say, a ball hawk. You already saw that he was a players to watch. He just said, I'm going to meet you, J.D. Sumlin, right in the trenches, and I'm going to go like a boxing arena. I'm going to give you the biggest tackle of my life, and right there, it's 4th down.
The Kingsmen are going to keep that offense on the field on this 4th and 3 on the 37-yard line. You can't help but think if Laverne gets a stop here, it's big for the momentum.
Confidence booster for a confidence defense.
Farley's going to take the snap and roll to his right, looking to throw, and it's incomplete. He misses his man. Turnover on downs, and here comes that Leopards offense.
Let's just make that breakdown. There was nowhere to go. Joe Farley made the pass intended for his running back, and it was way behind him. It feels like right now a chicken with its head cut off loose, and the idea of a defense that's just being stingy in general, Miguel, and right now we're seeing a birth of a whole entirely different defense.
Yeah, they're definitely coming out with that mindset to get to that quarterback. They brought a lot of pressure. It forced Farley to have to roll out and make a bad throw. Now Amaya's Hart under center. The Leopards got nice field possession that led to the touchdown last drive. Let's see what they can do on this one. Would be big to get that 2-possession lead early. They're going to motion over Noah Allen. Hart's going to take the snap and hand it off to McCown. McCown's going to be brought down at about the line of scrimmage for a small gain there.
No, and Tyler McCown just trying to find some positive yardage in a barrel of just a group members of Kingsmen. And Max Juarez right there, the defensive lineman, also the nose guard, or yes, the nose tackle, excuse me, that got that tackle against Tyler McCown. Big bodies in that defensive line. Minimum 6-foot height right there from all of them. It's going to be a battle in the trenches this afternoon.
Empty backfield. Amaya's Hart's going to take the snap and roll to his left to look to throw. He's going to throw it short, and it's going to be caught by Laverne. It was number 5, Jabari Hughes Jr., getting himself involved early here.
Jabari Hughes, another player that is starting to get his footing in this passing game for the Leopards. It was a trips formation on the left side from Amaya's Hart. He finds his wide open man. Hey, a manageable 3rd down. And now you're going to see 3rd down and 2. You got options of bags in your tricks. You could either run it. You could either find a short completion. The confidence in the palm and John Roberts on the play call for the offensive coordinator for the Leopards.
Leopards are 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far in this game. Looking to flip the script on it. It's been a struggle all season. They take the snap and hand it to McCown. And McCown's going to be brought down. We're going to be wait for the marker here from the referees. Very close call here, and it looks like he's going to be short.
Yeah, and again with that, you have to get some more push on the back already. You're seeing that defensive line not giving much. Again, this is still the #1 defense against the rush in SCIAC. But you know what? This is big right here. A 4th down attempt to go for it, but there's going to be a timeout. So hold our horses, Miguel.
It looked like just off the formation, they might have been taking a page out of the Eagles playbook there with the tush push there.
Well, to all you Eagles fans, I know how you feel about that play. And in reality, look it. That's a play that always has that positive yardage to it. We'll see if they come out again. But let's just credit, this is a great spotlight right here for Miguel to just talk about what we're seeing. And I want to give a big shout out to the offensive coordinator for John Roberts for the Laverne. This is 24th straight season coaching. He's promoted to offensive coordinator in 2025. And right now, he has his offensive rolling. And he's been great. He's coached alongside Southeastern and Savannah State. And also in San Diego Mesa, San Diego native in there. And again, the guy knows offense.
Oh, for sure. And something I've really liked about his play calling is every time the Leopards are given that inch, they take the mile and they punch in those touchdowns every time they get the fumble. Here comes the Leopards offense again, and they're in that tush-push formation. Looks like Brian Rudden's now in at quarterback to take this tush-push. Rudden takes it. He pushes himself forward. Does he have the 1st down? The Leopards are signaling they do. The Kingsmen are signaling they don't. Waiting for the referee's call here on this 4th down. Still trying to get to the bottom of that pile.
It's a big call right here for a momentum in either direction, Miguel.
Still waiting for the call here from the referee. Looks like they're going to push all the defense back, and curious to see if they bring out the chain here.
Oh, they definitely are. Trust me. There has to be an articulation. I would think they would, but maybe not.
Just from an observer point of view, it definitely looked like Rudden was able to push himself forward to get that 1st down. Here comes the chain.
Yeah, the only way to stop that, you have to see precise measurement. There is no way from the naked eye view to try to mark that, and we're going to see.
This is a very, very close call here. Put the chain out, and it looks like Rudden doesn't have it. It's going to be a turnover on downs. The Kingsmen with the stop there, and that's a play that really could change momentum for either side, and the Kingsmen are going to look to take advantage of it.
Well, credit the defense. They got smacked up early, right? They got smacked up early with that first score for Noah Allen for the Leopards. And right now, they just got a turnover on downs. So, another boxing analogy for you. Leopards defense is 1 in the green, the purple and white for the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. They're like, hey, 1 uppercut, 1 jab. Well, they've thrown some big blows right here, and the offenses have to respond and put it in points. And right now, it's a task for the Cal Lutheran offense.
Laverne's coming off a nice 3rd down stop on defense. They're going to hand it off to number 3, Game Landless, for a small gain there, and now it's going to set up a 2nd and manageable for the Kingsmen. A play like that where they got to bring out the chain, you get the call in your favor, you can't help but think that's going to motivate the offense to get going a little bit.
Motivate the offense indeed. They need to find something going, because right now has not been much. But if you think that turnover on downs can spark it, oh, you bet your whole entire bet of the house of a poker table on that momentum shifter. Right now, CalU is finding it.
Farley's going to hand it off to Landless again. Landless is going to barrel himself forward, and he's very close to a 1st down here. Time's ticking. About 40 seconds left in this 1st quarter. This 1st quarter has definitely flown by, Zach.
No, it has indeed, and it's been one miraculously 1st quarter as well. Very entertaining early on, and we're starting to see these teams really grind it out.
3rd and short. The Kingsmen are looking to their sideline for the play call here. Time's trickling down. Due to the game clock, they're going to have to run a play here. Landless in the backfield. Big 3rd down for the Leopard defense. They hand it off to Landless, and Landless gets a 1st down and a lot more. He's taken down at the 30-yard line.
Gabe Landless came into this game, Miguel. 28 rushing attempts with 95 yards and 3.3 average. This guy is showing you why he needs the football in his hands.
At the end of the 1st quarter, the score is Leopard 7 and the Kingsmen 0. You're watching SCIAC football on Flow Sports and LVTV, Laverne Community Television.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Here we are back for this 2nd quarter of play. Laverne has defied the odds to take an early lead in this one. It's 7-0. Touchdown by Noah Allen after a fumble on the punt was big. And now we have ourselves a 1st down for the Kingsmen. This snap is low, and it's going to be on the ground. It looks like it's going to be recovered by Landless. A nice break there for the Leopard defense.
And a nice break for the CalU offense as well, because at the end of the day, I'll tell you this. You do not want to lose the momentum you were just gaining going in for offense. Again, you just got the turnover on downs a couple plays back. You don't want to give the ball back. It's a no-no in football.
Coming into this game, the story of it was that the Leopards were going to be that team that was sloppy and have the mistakes, but it's been the Kingsmen early making these mistakes, and the Leopards have been the aggressor. Farley's going to take the snap and hand it off to Landless. Landless running toward that right side, and he's going to be taken down by the Leopards safety, Dylan Reiner, his second tackle of the game.
Dylan Reiner is everywhere. It doesn't matter. He has a nose for the ball. And I want to say something right there. I already knew automatically it was going to be a run play because it was a pistol formation. Whenever you see the running back behind the quarterback like that, 99.9% of the time, it's going to be a run play. And right now, it doesn't matter if there's two out wide, Miguel. You're going to see this trust in it. But now this has to be a passing down. This has to be a passing situation.
Big third down for this Leopard defense. Farley takes a step and hands it to DeLouth, and he's going to batter his way through. Does he have enough for the first down is the question. The Kingsmen are signaling that he does, and he does have the first down indeed. Only the Kingsmen would run on a 3rd and 5 there, Zach.
Yeah, I'm done with the predictions there. I'm sorry. At the rushing attempts of seeing this, you would think that they're going to have trust, but they have trust full entire to this run game. And hey, credit to them. Duluth has been the lead guy right now. He hasn't seen much action, but he's proven that he can do it.
Just keep in mind, Duluth on that depth chart is their 3rd running back. They just have a 3-headed monster that they're going to use all game no matter the situation. First down here for the Kingsmen. They've set themselves up for a nice drive. They hand it off again to Duluth, and Duluth is crushed and met by 3 Leopard defenders there.
Crushed indeed. You know, like when you go out to the ballpark and we'll make it a baseball analogy. When you crack those peanuts and you understand, hey, I'm just trying to find the way the inside. Well, that defensive line just swarmed that running back, and he had nowhere to go.
Looks like we have a man down on the Leopards defense. Can't really make out who it is quite yet, but the training staff's going to head out to check on him. It's Dart Martin there. Looks like he's grabbing his leg. Hope everything's okay as the training staff checks on him. He's going to be able to hop up and walk off on his own weight. That's always something good to see there. He's going to come out of this game, but he's already made an impact on it. Dart Martin has. Second and 7 on the 16-yard line for the Kingsmen. They've continued to show their discipline and commitment to the run, and now J.D. Sumlin's in the game. The touchdown man himself, 7 touchdowns on the season in that backfield.
You got to see loading the box right here as the Leopards are.
Farley takes a step and hands it off to Sumlin up that right side. He slips a little bit, and he's going to be taken down by the Leopards.
Welcome Chase Yanez to the show.
Chase.
That flying safety.
That's something I've definitely noticed. These safeties have gotten involved early, and they've almost come downhill to make these tackles. It's that commitment to stop the run. They've definitely done their homework on this Kingsman offense.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Miguel. When they're in their T-step, right when you see it, they're going to go back off their back foot, and they're going to go straight right there. It's just muscle memory from that position to commit themselves.
Big third down here. The Kingsmen have had success on this drive. Already 2 third-down conversions. Farley's going to look to throw this time, and he's batted down. The throw is short. He was hit as he threw. It was number 10 for Laverne, Dylan Reiner. And speaking of the safeties coming downhill, Reiner comes down to put the pressure and hit the quarterback.
So one thing about Dylan Reiner, what I've noticed already, Miguel, he comes from that inside linebacker, which plays like that safety spot. So what he can do is he has the athletic build of a safety, but he has the instincts of a linebacker. And I think that's the 3rd passing attempt for Cal Lutheran I've seen barely. Hey, no avail.
Montanga here on the field goal. Already missed 1 in this game. A lot of noise coming from that Leopard sideline to force another miss. Here's the snap. And that one's going to be banged through the middle and made there for the Kingsmen, making it a 7-3 game. The Leopards, Jomar Brown almost got in there and put a hand on it. He was very visibly upset that he wasn't able to get there.
Just wait. We have a lot to talk about Lockdown Brown on that defensive side of the ball the next segment, because they haven't thrown his way. And heck, that passing game hasn't gone anywhere today. Look at the defensive rush from from the offense of getting pushed back. Look, the Leopards are here. They've been practicing this all in practice. They were saying, hey, the ball assignment, pad level, and being aggressive. And that was one thing that Coach Sanchez preached from just his staff, being able to tell his players, hey, if I have this pad level, this aggression, this liveliness, it's going to bring success. And right now, they're playing with confidence, but they're also built into the culture of toughness. And right now, we're seeing a whole new standard of Laverne football right now.
Just talking with Coach Sanchez, something that I've really taken away from his philosophy as a football coach is he's not afraid of anyone. At the end of the day, you got to go play football. If you play smart, disciplined football, you can beat anyone, and the Leopards are executing that game plan early with this 7-3 lead. This kick's going to go into the backfield for the touchback, and the Leopards are going to take control at the 25-yard line.
And let's capitalize this just before we end that defensive segment. Never quit mindset. That's what the Leopards have been prevailing right here. It didn't matter if they were backed up. It didn't matter what situation you threw at them. And right there, as Coach Sanchez said, I'm going to preach the football basic fundamentals. And right now, they're performing to it.
The Leopards have shown a lot of run, getting Tyler McCown involved early. So expect more of the same with Amias Hart back in at quarterback. We did see Brian Rudden come in for that QB sneak last drive, but now it's Hart again. Hart motions over McCown, and McCown takes the handoff, and he's going to be met by the Kingsman defense for a small gain, if anything at all there.
That defensive line, again, just going crazy. J.D. Vargas, I'm going to give him the credit tackle right there because it was a combo tackle, but that was an inside zone play. And right now, a lot of the success for the Leopards has been outside, bouncing it out and making the secondary trying to tackle it. So look at that there. It's 3-by-1 now, so expect maybe a pass here, Miguel.
Hart, already 3 completions in this game. Looking for more here. Very limited opportunity to throw. They're going to hand it off again to McCown, and McCown's going to barrel his way through for a very minimal gain there, and another 3rd down here for Laverne.
I'm 0 for 3 today. I'm done. I am done with that prediction. Look it. They want the run game. You're seeing it. But I'll say this. Now it's 3rd down. Miguel, when you do a run play like that and you see it, the run game opens up the pass game. So now this might give pressure off the quarterback for Laverne, and let's see what they can do. Again, it's a long 3rd down. They got to complete it, and they're going against a cover 2 look right here.
It's 3rd and 8 here on the 27-yard line for Laverne. They're 1 for 3 in 3rd down conversions. Hart looks to throw. He throws to his right side. He makes the catch, but does he get his feet down? Waiting for the call. Does not look like he comes down with it.
Yeah, and Miguel, Jabari Hughes has been that receiver to go to so far. You're seeing that cover 2 man look, so it's just man-on-man in the matchup. You only have the short side of the field, and it's going to be easier for a quarterback that's right-handed to go to that favorite side. So, again, they got to find a way to get this passing game going because they're going to need it later on in this game. That's only 4 points separating these 2 teams.
For sure, and Work Guys are out for the punt. His 2nd punt of the game. His first one went 45 yards. Looking for another punt here, just as good to back them up. This ball's going to roll back. It's going to get a favorable bounce, and this ball's going to roll to about the 30-yard line. A solid punt there by Werkgeiser, and here comes the Kingsman offense.
And off the return, Anthony Gallego right there, and we'll see. I mean, look so far it's been short-fused offense, and at the end of the day, if that's what it's going to be like the rest of the afternoon, well, if you are a defensive-loving type of person, then you're loving this out here because at the end of the day, what do they say, Miguel? Offense wins games, but defense wins championships.
For sure, and the Kingsmen, they're coming off a 10-play, 31-yard drive where they left with a field goal. They were able to push those chains and get those 1st downs, keeping that defense on the field. So that's big for them as Landless in the backfield. Farley looking to take the snap here on the first play of the drive. He's going to hand it off to Landless. Landless has it, and he's going to barrel his way through. A solid run there by Landless. That's a nice 1st down run to set the tone for the drive.
Yeah, again, I've seen a lot of Gabe Landless that past year with the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. And you know what? They finally got him some help because he's been that lead workhorse. And the fact that he's starting to get that confidence and he's a year extra in this offense now, you got to give him some credit to understanding his ball knowledge. And, hey, now it's more a rushing attack.
Landless there That was his 9th rush of the game, already over 40 yards. Getting him involved early has definitely been a key for the Kingsmen. Play action, Farley looks to throw, it's batted in the air. Not gonna be able to be intercepted, but it was number 21, Jake Wisnat, to bat that one away.
And Jeremiah Naylor almost had that interception as well. He was like, is this my moment? Coach, is this my moment? Hey, you have another opportunity, but again, the passing situation for Cal Lutheran. You want to talk about deer in headlights? Right now, I have seen a deer in headlights here in Orton-Myers Stadium.
And the Leopards have had a lot of success getting that pressure to the quarterback. We saw the big hit on Farley last drive. This time it was bad in the air, almost intercepted. Here we go, big third down, 3rd and 4. He's gonna hand it off to Landless. Landless looks like he's short here, and it's gonna set up a 4th and short, and now the question is, do you go for it on your side of the field?
You know what? If you want to tell them, if you are the #1 team in SCIAC, we'll see. We will see. And they don't, because, again, you have to live it. There's so much more left in this quarter, Miguel. You do not want to give the Leopards an easy way to the red zone.
It was Dart Martin coming off that injury. Almost a little bit of worry about him coming back into this game, but he comes back, makes a big play to limit it, and now we have a punt, and the Leopards are going to take over possession.
You have Jimmy Rumsey right there to return it.
It's going to be a line drive punt, and the Kingsmen are going to get a favorable bounce, and this one's going to roll inside the 10-yard line, back them up in a tough spot.
Well, you know what? Now this might be the longest field of play for the Leopards. Now they have to, if they spot him around the 4-yard line, they have 96 yards to go drive this thing into that favorable end zone.
You see the duality there in the Leopards scoring drive. They were set up beautifully. They were on their side of the field. Now they're all the way backed up. Expect a lot of run, expect a lot of Tyler McCown here.
Hey, you could say that again, and right now they just got to find a way to get out of their end zone and start getting a methodical drive going.
McCown already 7 rushing attempts in the game. In this situation, you might see more of them. They hand it off to McCown. McCown takes it towards that right side and is going to be taken down for a small gain.
So you see right there was an outside zone play, Miguel. That means they're trying to put the pressure more off of that left side of the defensive line, more towards the linebackers. And that's something you got to keep it going. Mix it up in the run game. If you're going to keep going focus on run game, you got to find ways to go outside zone, inside zone, stretch plays, all these things to keep this defense guessing.
I think when you're backed up in a spot like this, Zach, the Leopards' mindset is not really scoring right here. It's just taking care of that football and not setting the Kingsmen up for great field position, or even worse, a fumble that leads to a touchdown.
No, definitely that. Very
Amias
well
Hart
said.
now. He's going to hand it off to McCown. McCown's going to bounce out to the right side, and he's going to be taken down. Another short gain here, setting up a 3rd and medium. And interesting to see what type of play the Leopards come out with in this 3rd down.
I also want to say one thing too, Miguel. I think what we're starting to see is take care of the football. They don't want to make any costly turnovers from both sides, because at the end of the day, this game is full of inches and it's about the little things, and you don't want to give anybody an advantage. So the fact that they're keeping it on the ground is saying, hey, we got to protect this ball. And then remember, that's #1 thing for Coach Sanchez.
3rd and 8 here. The Leopards are 1 for 4 on 3rd down opportunities. The referee's going to blow this play dead, and it looks like a timeout for Laverne.
Yeah, if we go down in the stats-wise, Miguel, Cal Lutheran has 7 first downs to Laverne's 2. But, and the amount of that, the rushing yards from Laverne, 18, to Cal Lutheran's 113 total as a team. I think what's separating this is the fact that when the Leopards did get their passing offense going, it did give them that score. So let's see if they're going to lean towards that. If they're going to go back to the run game, we'll see.
During this timeout, you're watching SCIAC Football, Flow Sports and LVTV, Laverne Community Television. Something that Coach Sanchez really kept drilling in our heads during our conversation with him was, we have to keep that momentum, and by doing that, you're getting these first downs, you're continuing these drives, and something he also emphasized was keeping that defense fresh. The Leopards ever since that scoring drive, really have not been able to get anything going. This is a big third down to try to flip the switch. Amias Hart under center. 3rd and 8 for Laverne. He's going to look to throw. He has time. Steps up in the pocket, throws to Julian Martinez, and Martinez makes a man miss. Does he have enough for the first down?
Regardless of this, I want to say one thing, Miguel. When we find out what it is, Julian Martinez has been a very valuable pass catcher for the Leopards offense.
It's going to be short there. He gets a gain of about 6. He needed 8. Julian Martinez, though, I think being the leader of this team, he really understands the situation. They need a first down. He did everything in his power to force his way forward, just wasn't able to quite get it. Setting up another punt for Wertheiser. Wertheiser's already gotten 2 nice punts in this game, looking for a 3rd. Here's the punt from Wertheiser. It's going to push him back beyond midfield. It's going to be caught. Rolling out to the right side now. He's going to get the outside, and he's going to get a nice return there. And it spins and makes a man miss, and he's inside the 35-yard line. Great field position for the Kingsmen.
Can I say that's one of the best plays I've seen Cal Lutheran do most of the tired afternoon? I mean, hey, special teams plays a factor as well. They set up the field position very excellent for Coach Anthony Lugo. Anthony Lugo and also Anthony Gallego. Hey, look at pair Anthony's right there. And I want to talk about Anthony Lugo in just a moment after this.
There's a hold there on the receiving team, and that's going to push them back. Sitting behind this Cal Lutheran bench, they got really hyped up for that big play, and now it's going to switch back against them, and they're going to be pushed back here.
You can't shoot yourself in the foot, and that you just did right there. 15 yards costly because, again, that return was very lengthy. They got him past midfield, and now they have to go back into their own territory. But Anthony Lugo knows it very well. He's gotten his team to the best start since 2006. They're undefeated, and they've been in these games. They've gotten prevailed, but right now it's a little bit of a different story. They are behind.
Farley here. He's going to take the snap and hand it off to Duluth. Duluth cuts back inside to his right. A lot of nice moves, and he's still on his feet up that left side. Finally taken down, but a first down and a big gain for the Kingsmen on the first play of the drive.
So I just want to say, this is the 3rd running back for the Kingsmen, right? A sophomore in Mackay Duluth from Bakersfield, California, alumni of Liberty High School, and he just said, hey, I'm going to go take this ball, and I'm going to go bring it to you.
Duluth with 6 rushes for 46 yards in this game. They're going to hand it off to the hot hand again. Duluth spins around and gets a little bit there. He's a very aggressive runner. He refuses to go down.
That's the real mindset of a running back. And Tyler McCown for the Leopards, Mackay Duluth for the Kingsmen. They will not be brought down without a fight. So bring your best number right here. And for the Leopards defense, show them what you've been doing all afternoon. Go bury them in the ground if you have to, because that's what's going to help you win this football game.
Most definitely. They've really stayed true to this run. Everything that you've read about this team, they've stuck to. They've stayed to the ground. Joe Farley has yet to really make a lot of throws in this game.
Or a completion.
Farley has it. Looks to throw. Throws it deep. He's got a man and a leaping catch by the wide receiver. It was Jake Byes. Great catch there, and it sets up a great field position opportunity for the Kingsmen to score.
Looking on this replay, you're going to see Farley standing in the pocket, delivering a beautiful ball right there. Hey, Dylan Reiner had to go off his horse, and again, that was great coverage, but Jake Byes made better offense on that play.
If Joe Farley's making throws like that, this Kingsman offense only expands into that playbook. Big play there on their 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Farley looking to stay hot, throws up the jump ball to the right side. Does he have a man? He doesn't. It's incomplete. It was Maddox Bernardino, the intended receiver.
Look, Miguel, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you right here. That's one-on-one coverage. Lockdown. Jamar Brown, you are never, and I'm going to bet most of my lifeline, ever going to get the ball on him. He played good coverage, no pass interference, looked at the ball, looked at the receiver, and Joe Farley's going to have to think twice against that man because I'll tell you right now, he got away of him very quickly and not an interception as well.
Farley been a little bit more aggressive on the pass. The Louth now on the handoff. He's cutting his way and splicing through the defense. He's inside the 10-yard line, a big first down. Dylan Reiner makes the tackle, but a little bit too late as the Kingsmen are set up in the red zone here.
You got to credit the effort for Dylan Reiner, though. He's been everywhere. He is definitely this game's leading tackler. And Duluth has been something of surprise to watch. You know what? They say Weapon X. You ever hear about a secret weapon? I think Cal Lutheran's finding one right now in that third running back.
He's definitely been a Swiss Army knife for them. Farley's going to take the snap and hand it to Duluth again. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It was Jake Wisnat there with the tackle.
Man, Dylan Reiner right here had 6 tackles, tied with Dart Martin. I got to give him his flowers right now. But right now, it's been all Kingsmen. You want to say sharpening their sword. That pass play helped them. And now, Joe Farley making a methodical drive. Credit to Coach Anthony Lugo.
They have not even looked to J.D. Sumlin, the leading SCIAC touchdown scorer, because Duluth has been all over the field. Farley takes a snap, rolls to his left, looks to throw. He's got a man, and he overthrows him. Incomplete.
You want to talk about nightmares? Let's talk about nightmares. It's spooky season, isn't it? It's the month of October, right? For a quarterback. A nightmare is when I'm rolling to the pocket, I have a man wide open. And right there, Tim Murphy wanted that back, but also, you want to think, Joe Farley wanted that back even more.
Most definitely, Farley had him open. He just threw it a little bit too far, and now it's a 3rd and medium, and you definitely are expecting a pass here if you're Laverne. DeLouth has been the man. They might hand it off to him, but Farley takes a snap, looks to throw, surveying over the middle, intercepted Laverne!
Man, oh man, Justin Mondini, that's your 2nd interception on the season. Miguel, give him some flowers to this man. Let's talk about Justin Mondini.
Justin Mondini, like Zach said, 2nd interception, had an interception last week against Pomona Pitzer. This time, he gets the interception in the end zone, and I think he makes such a great football play. He could have taken that momentum, that energy, to run it down the field, but he decides to play it calm, get tackled in the end zone, and now the Leopards have great field position on this 20-yard line. Great play, Justin Mondini.
And Coach Sid Robertson's probably smiling ear to ear over there, the defensive coordinator for the Leopards. Hey, Justin Mondini's going to wear that turnover chain again. He's going to be like, hey, I have now made myself the King Leopard. And right there at the safety spot.
Hart keeps it. He's going to run, and he's drilled there in a big play there by the Kingsmen. It was number 1, Art Orta, the linebacker, lighting up Amias Hart on the first play of that drive.
You know, I got to tell you one thing, though, Miguel. When you make those big hits, you got to give the credit. You don't want the quarterback taking always those unnecessary hits, but at the end of the day, sometimes that hit and that force of drive doesn't really feel it on the quarterback. It's the defensive guy laying it into the person, because over time, especially when a season's still early on, you're going to get a lot of shoulder checking, potential injuries brewing, and not wishing it upon it. I'm just saying that happens.
As we hit this 2-minute warning, you're watching Flow Sports and LVTV, Laverne Community Television. Zach, I want to go back to that interception. That is just an unbelievably great play there. 3rd down, even if the Kingsmen don't get the touchdown there, they're set up for a field goal, but Mondini makes the great play.
Well, we said it. Mondini, natural mindset of the ball. Hey, he's from Norco High School, native of the Inland Empire, and you know that from being Riverside. You've seen the type of people out there and what type of football they bring. You know, his brother was also an alumni, Trent Mondini, for the Leopards on the offensive side of the ball. But you know what? He has a steady presence in that safety spot, and they have a gem right there.
2nd and 7 on the 23-yard line for Laverne. big drive here to try to make this a 2-possession game. Hart looks to throw, rolls to his right. He's going to use his legs to stay on his feet and get a first down. Big play on Myers Hart.
Well, you got a Kingsman with his helmet off, but Logan Bowers with that tackle, and he's also a big factor for the Kingsman inside linebacker. So JD Vargas has to leave the play off of removing his helmet coming off, so that's a big presence missing in the Kingsman for one play.
About a minute 40 left in this second quarter. 1st and 10 on the 33, a gain of 16 on the run by Hart. Hart takes the snap. He's going to roll to his left, looking to throw. Met with some pressure, and he throws. He's got Jimmy Rumsey. Jimmy Rumsey slides forward with a big first down. There's some flags on the play, but a great ball by Myers Hart nonetheless.
Look it. It's showtime every single time he catches that ball, but I definitely want to hear this first.
Previous spot. First down.
They're going to call Jimmy Rumsey off that offensive pass interference. They must have saw some type of push off. But at the end of the day, look at even finding his target, they're going to find a way to get him going, get that offensive going. But again, that pushes the drive back. So that makes the Kingsmen dodge a bullet, Miguel.
Yeah, and Jimmy Rumsey, getting him involved is key. He leads the team in catches, he leads the team in touchdowns, and he leads SCIAC in yards per catch. He's really been the X factor for Laverne. Expect more of him as they look to get him involved. The Leopards are backed up in a tough spot, but about a minute left. I wonder here, Zach, are they going to try to play a little bit more conservative here and take this into the half?
Yeah, they got a trips formation right here, but let's see if they do run that ball.
They're going to hand it off to McCown, and McCown's going to force his way forward for a medium gain there. And that play was a little unique there. Hart looked like he was going to run, instead handed it off. Hunter Hall there with the tackle.
And I want to say right before we go into this, concluding this timeout, look at the totals. The first downs are 10 for the Kingsmen. The Leopards have 3. Miguel, in football, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the stats padding is. It doesn't matter how many receiving yards, like the Leopards have 33 or the Kingsmen have 20. It matters that the scoreboard is telling the story, but it also tells about the characters. And right now what we're seeing is a totally 2 different teams. A team that's usually in control in Cal Lutheran, a team in the Leopards that's finding their footing, and they're new, right? Right now, it's a new ball game, and football is always a week-to-week basis. People don't realize that's a capital week-to-week basis. It can be different every single time they step on the field.
Most definitely, and it really is crazy. If you look at the stats for this game, just off that, you would think the Kingsmen have control, but the Leopards control that scoreboard, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters as they hold this 7-3 lead. 2nd and 22. Let's see what type of approach Laverne comes out with. Hart's going to look to throw. Steps up in the pocket, breaks a tackle, and he's still on his feet. Myers Hart goes up the right side, and he's finally taken down. That play had potential for something special.
It definitely did, but you know what? Myers Hart, again, protecting the football. It's been ingrained in that brain of his because, you know, go into this half, protecting that football, protecting this lead. That was beautiful by number 18.
3rd and 13. Myers Hart was almost sacked. Looks like the Leopards were willing to throw in that situation on this 3rd and 13. I feel like they might have potential to possibly throw a ball downfield and get something going on a big play.
Watch this safety right here for Cal Lutheran. He's looking at Jimmy Rumsey's way, but we'll see what they're going to say on this flag.
Flag on the play, and it looks like someone on the Leopard O-line might have hopped there.
Timeout. Laverne is the 3rd and final timeout.
So Laverne's going to take the timeout. The referee threw a flag there. Looks like that was not going to be anything.
Well, hey, that's good that it wasn't, because at the end of the day, you're driving, and you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot anymore. Your quarterback literally had to run a marathon, just try to get a third and manageable and find a way. And at the end of the day, we'll see. But if they go back in that trips formation, Miguel, Tommy 2K was looking on the side of Jimmy Rumsey. And the difference right here is that the fact that they're going to see is I have to keep my eyes on number 2 at all times. And that's something they have to keep on for. And now they have to credit Noah Allen. They have to see Jabari Hughes. It's not just one guy that can beat you. It's 3 guys that can beat you.
Most definitely. And Amias Hart has shown some willingness to run. Big 13-yard gain on that last one, and 4 rushes for 16 yards in the game. Third down here could potentially be the last offensive play of the drive for Laverne if they're unable to complete. Hart's going to take the snap and look to throw. He's going to check it down, looking for McCown, unable to find him. And it looks like that's going to probably set up a punt here. And the Kingsmen now, they have a little bit of time to get something going into the half.
They do indeed. And Miguel, they're 146 yards on the ground, right? And they only have 20 receiving yards with 1 completion. But the fact is here, is this is 42 seconds. They have momentum. They have 1 timeout. We'll see. This game can maybe add potential points or maybe not.
Work guys are out there for his 4th punt of the game. He's had a lot of success today punting. Not a lot of pressure for Work Geyser. Punt's going to be high in the air. It's going to be caught for a fair catch at about the 42-yard line. And here comes Joe Farley in that Kingsman offense.
And you want to give some credit to both of these teams. And now let's see what Coach Anthony Lugo has up his sleeve. I mean, he's named the head coach of Cal Lutheran football in May 2021, becoming just the 5th head coach in program storied history. In the first season, he led Kingsman 5-0. And now he wants to guide them again and try to get some points up here on the board.
A lot of noise coming from this crowd as they're trying to will the Leopards defense here. Farley takes the snap, but the referee's going to blow this one dead. Seeing a false start signal here. See what the call is.
False start. Offense. Number 79. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I believe it was Ryan Curtis that got that false start. The right tackle for the Kingsmen. And hey, you have to be disciplined, especially when the time is clocking down in the first half. You can't keep going backwards. And right now, the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen are looking like a shell of themselves, and they know it.
So far in the first half, the Leopards have controlled the penalty advantage. The Kingsmen have more penalties than Farley now. Looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, has no one behind him. He throws high and incomplete. Ball was intended for Jake Baez. Farley's 1 for 11 so far in this game, and his 1 completion was to Baez, who's looking for his number 1 man there.
Joe Farley entered this game with 52 completions out of 91 attempts, with 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Miguel, he did a 57% completion. Right now, it's not even close to that. And that's something you got to keep watching. He doesn't even have 174 yards in the air that he averages usually in a game. It's not even close to that.
And I think that's a lot of credit to the man-to-man coverage that Laverne has played. They've stayed strong. Farley now looking to throw, throws it high, incomplete. And that Leopard defensive line is bringing the pressure. He was looking for someone there, but unable to find him. And now it's 3rd and 15.
When you play man-to-man, when you play in any type of zone or coverage, right there, I couldn't get a quite good look on it. But right now what I'm seeing is definitely this still cover 2 look, cover 2 man, I will say. I can bet that. In this man coverage, you're not going to let anything past you. You have to be on your best behavior on a defense, and you have to be able to get something completed. But right now, Kingsmen have no answer.
Landless in the backfield. Let's see if the Kingsmen even attempt a pass here as that first half is dwindling down. Farley has time to throw. He looks for Baez. He has him. And he's going to get out of bounds there. Short of the first down. It's going to set up a 4th down here with 18 seconds left.
So right there, Miguel, you've seen it from the Kingsmen. They found a way to gap the zone, so it looked like cover 2 man, but they shifted it into zone last minute from the Leopards, and right there you see that, hey, the Kingsmen found an answer, but again, it's still 4th down.
Great job there by the Leopard defense. They've done a great job on that pass, and because of that, it's forced the Kingsmen to really have to run a lot. And I know that's their strategy, but if you can't get the pass involved, it's very tough to get an offense going. The punt's going to go short of Jimmy Rumsey. It's going to roll out of bounds. We got about 9 seconds left in this first half. Curious to see if Laverne just comes out, takes a knee, and sends it into the second half with a lead. That was a solid punt there by the Kingsmen, and not let Jimmy Rumsey on the potential last play of the half get himself into space and make a crazy run. So they kicked it away from him, rolled out of bounds, and let's see what the Leopards do with this limited amount of time.
Protect the football at all costs. That's all I can say.
Amaya's Hart with Tyler McCown next to him. He hands it off to McCown. McCown makes a man miss, holds onto that football, and the time's going to trickle down and send us to the end of the first half. At the end of the second quarter, the score is Laverne 7 and the Kingsmen 3. You're watching Skyac Football and Flow Sports, Laverne Community Television, and Zach, so far so good for Laverne. They hold the lead going into the second half.
So far so good, but a lead's never safe in football. And at the end of the day, we'll see if it's going to be a dominant run game to finish this out. But these defenses have played lights out. Lights out like that bright, sunny sky in this Laverne afternoon. And at the end of the day, Miguel, we'll see who becomes victorious. It could be a potential upset brewing in Orton-Myers Stadium, or will CLU find a way? Well, we have 15 minutes to see, 20 minutes more to be more exact, Miguel. But what do you want to see going into this?
I just want to see Laverne keep that momentum. They got the big play on that special teams fumble. They recovered. They took advantage of it. Noah Allen left that drive with a touchdown. I want to see more of that. The Leopards really haven't gotten anything going besides that on offense. I really want them to try to establish the run so they could get Amaya's Hart and involved for their playmakers. Jimmy Rumsey, Noah Allen, really haven't seen much of them in that first half. I expect to see more of them, though, in the second half.
Yeah, no, definitely that. And we'll see, because at the end of the day, hey, football is a game of inches.
Definitely that. And the Leopards, once again, leading 7-3 as we head to the second half and halftime. Leopards continuing this approach for the upset.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Second half at Orton-Myers Stadium, we have a matchup between the Laverne Leopards and the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen, and Laverne is leading this game 7-3. This has been a tale of two sides here, Zach. Laverne has found a way to keep this lead, however.
Hey, keep this lead indeed, and now we'll see, because now they get the ball in the second half, which is also great for them. They had it defensively, the defense got their stop, and right now they get to show out what the offense is going to do and try to take even a bigger lead. But for Cal Lutheran, they got to find a way to try to get a response. This is the first time they feel like they've been shocked in all season. They are undefeated, Miguel, and right now it's all Leopards here in Orton-Myers Stadium.
Something to point out, though, this Kingsman team is no stranger to second half comebacks. Last week, they scored 19 unanswered points in the second half to win their game. So they're not going to back down. They've overcome a bigger deficit than this. They're only down by 4. They're going to come out gunning in this second half. If you look at the stats in this game, that's something I want to point out. Everything on those stats are pointing to the Kingsmen leading this game. However, that scoreboard says otherwise.
Yeah, those stats like 146 rushing yards to the Leopards 50. Also the average with 5.8 rushing yards for the Kingsmen and the Leopards 3.1. And now they're going to say, I believe they're holding on the return, so it's going to be past the Leopards back. Oh.
Penalty enforced for the subsequent dead ball spot. First down.
And it looks like they're blocking the back, and that's not how you want to start this second half, especially when you have the lead and there's a lot of eyes on you to go out and punch in some points, because the Leopards their offense has been stale as of late. They've lost that momentum that they had earlier. They do have this lead, however, and they have the opportunity to flip the script with this drive. It's not a good start.
Out 2-by-1 formation right here for Amias Hart.
Hart's going to take the snap, play action, roll to his right, and look to throw. Hart throws it down the field. Does he have Rumsey? He does! Rumsey comes down with it. He breaks a tackle. 10, and he's in for 6. Jimmy Rumsey with the touchdown.
So, hey, Leopards fans, you get your popcorn ready, because showtime! Jimmy Rumsey's back in the building. And I said it once and twice. They're going to find a way. Miguel also said it. But you see it right there when you find a shot. 18-2, they took it off that post, and good night, Irene. The Leopards are in front right now.
There's a reason Jimmy Rumsey leads all of Skyac with the most yards per catch, and that's exactly why. One play, one touchdown, and here comes the PAT unit for the Leopards as they look to extend this lead to 11. Wertheiser's already 1 for 1 today. And this one's going to be blocked down. Laverne's able to fall on it. Not ideal there, however. They did evade a potential return there by the Kingsmen that would force 2 more points and make it back to a 1-score possession. But let's talk about that touchdown again. Jimmy Rumsey opens himself up. There's 2 parts to it. Rumsey getting down the field open, and the way Amias Hart put it right in the bucket, a great pass.
Hey, the moon ball is the best ball in all of football, and I'll tell you that right now. That's a 4th touchdown for Jimmy Rumsey on the season. Miguel, when you find a man-on-man coverage beater, there was no one. And Jimmy Rumsey said, hey, foot race to the end zone. And I'm telling you right now, you just gave the best receiver in Skyac another reason to show you what he can do in open space.
The Leopards punch early in this second half. Let's see how the number 1 team in Skyac punches back here. The Leopards lead 13-3. Wertheiser out for the kick, and that's just an unbelievable switch up because the Leopards get that block in the back on the return. It's not looking good. You're not thinking touchdown at the side of the field they were on, but Amias Hart and Jimmy Rumsey connect for the touchdown. And now momentum is back on Laverne's side. Wertheiser's kick is a good one. It's inside the 10. Looking for the return here by the Kingsmen. He goes to his right, and he now switches up to his left, and he's met by a swarm of Leopards. And he's taken down behind the 20-yard line.
A little rustling up already, getting chippy right here, and good luck they didn't see that, but I definitely did. They're just getting scrappy. It's called capital W-A-R. It's war, and that's what it's going to be from here on out. And right now, Miguel, they got to play discipline, but I want to say the last thing is that they came out in halftime more off the Laverne side. They knew they were going to draw a play. They found their best play. Credit to Coach Roberts right there, the offensive coordinator. Now, Joe Farley has to find a way to respond.
Joe Farley, he's had himself a very difficult time trying to get in a rhythm. This Kingsman offense has been led by the run, and it's that 3-headed monster. They look to Sumlin. He's one part of it. Runs to his right, and he's met by the Leopards. Flag on the play, though, we're going to see for this whistle.
You hate to see that yellow little flag just come out because at the end of the day, it hurts momentum either way. And, you know, you're never going to agree.
Holding, offense, number 73, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Holding there on the right guard, Gabriel Anguano. And that's going to push them back. And the Leopards, this is something we haven't seen from them this season. They're winning the penalty battle. They've stayed very disciplined.
Yeah, penalty battle indeed, and that's going to something to keep looking out from here. Leopards only have 2 penalties to the Kingsmen 4.
He's going to take the snap and hand it off to Sumlin. Sumlin gets himself into space, and a nice run there by Sumlin. And they're continuing to push the pile, and Sumlin gets a first down there.
I'm going to tell you, that might not have been the most flashiest run all day, but that was the most important run. It was the most important run, Miguel, because it showed total dominance to say.
Most definitely on that run. Sumlin, he's someone that we were expecting to hear a lot about here. They've looked to the Lout, and they've also looked to Landless a lot in this game. Sumlin finally really making his first big mark in this game.
Yeah, so they called a timeout. But anyways, let's say this, Miguel. I think they saved J.D. Sumlin for the whole second half to give him the workhorse. And that's my best prediction because I've been 0-3, and that's never really happened as much on a 50-50 call to seeing these formations. But I'll say this, Miguel, I'll say this. You got to bet your best card on the table if you are CLU. You got to put all the guns out on the table right now because Laverne has the momentum.
And you hear it on that sideline. They're getting loud for their offense. They need this momentum. Laverne has them where they want them. Farley with Sumlin in his backfield. He's going to hand it off to Sumlin. Sumlin's the hot hand right now, and he's met a little bit past the line of scrimmage for a short gain there.
It's tackled by Dart Martin right there, who's been a ball hawk in that inside linebacker spot. My goodness, he's a new player for this team and this program, and I'll tell you right now, he has met J.D. Sumlin and any running back in the middle.
It just feels like anytime this defense needs to play, Dart Martin is somewhere involved in it. 2nd and 8 on the 31-yard line. Farley's going to take the snap and look to throw. Looking to his left side, pressure coming, and it's a sack for Laverne.
It was a Joe Farley sandwich. John Luke Vega said, hey, I want a Joe Farley sandwich, Miguel. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'd like a few more of those. That's definitely momentum there. And Farley here set up in a 3rd and long. He hasn't had much success passing. A lot of pressure on the Kingsmen here. The energy in Ortmeyer Stadium is flowing into the game. The Leopards look inspired again.
But this is a testament to CLU's character right here to show. Especially for number 5. He feels the hot seat the most.
Farley takes the snap, looks to throw, over the middle, almost intercepted by Laverne. It was batted down. It was number 10, Dylan Reiner. And Dylan Reiner's another one of those guys that's just been all over the field today.
I don't need any binoculars to go watch this because I've seen number 10 make a play after time and time again. And he's really showing you why he has that X factor. You want to play Madden 2026? There's my best ad campaign for you there, Miguel. He has the X factor superstar right there. Dylan Reiner is becoming a star on that defense.
Something that Coach Sanchez in our discussion with him emphasized to us is when we had that momentum, because we know we're going to get it, we're talented enough to get it, it's a matter of keeping it. Laverne gets the big one-play touchdown, and then they get their offense back on the field almost instantly. And now they have potential to get a 3-possession lead here, a big drive coming up for Amias Hart in that offense.
Yes, Amias Hart today with a 241.8 quarterback rating. He's completed 5 out of 9 passes, and 55.6 completion percentage. He has 2 touchdowns and 121s on the air. It doesn't matter about how many yards you get through the air. It's a matter about, am I going to win my matchup? Am I going to take care of the ball? Hey, number 18 has the call today.
Amias Hart might have a little bit of confidence after that one-play touchdown. Could see more of a passing approach. Hart keeps it, throws to his right. He had Noah Allen, but overthrows him. It's going to set up 2nd down.
You hear about the mustard type of call when pitchers and quarterbacks put so much emphasis on that? Well, again, they have to find a way to get back into that sweet spot. He has the power to get it. Just easy completions go a long way in the game of football.
Yeah, those are the ones you want to have back. Definitely had a man there. And that kind of goes back to some of the struggles Hart has dealt with, that completion percentage. He's made the big plays when he's had to, but Those short disciplined ones have been a little bit of a trouble for him. Second down now. They hand it off to McCown. McCown running towards that right side. He's going to cut it back towards the middle for a solid second down run, and now we got a third and manageable. And this is big for Laverne. They need these third downs to go their way if they want a chance of finishing this football game.
No, definitely that, and you got to give the credit for these receivers even trying to go and block those plays. Those outside zone plays are going to help Tyler McCown, not just in the rushing category, but also just physicality, trusting his guys. And right now, this is a big third down to keep the momentum towards their side because, again, this lead is not safe. It's only 10 points separating these two teams, Miguel.
Yeah, and Laverne right here, 1 for 6 in the game on third down completions. They need a big one here to try to keep that defense off the field. Hart takes the snap, looks to throw, met with pressure, rolls to his right, and he throws incomplete. Pass was intended there for Jabari Hughes, and it looks like that punting unit's going to come back out on the field, Zach.
Yeah, so right there you're seeing a 2-by-2 formation, and you're trying to find a shallow crossing routes. That's something that's been big for this Laverne offense, finding that space to just get minimal yardage to make it easy and manageable. Right there was pressure because Hart had a roll to his right, which is still favorable for a quarterback, but at the end of the day, you don't want to put it into too much of a zone type of look for these defenders, Miguel. So now you're going to see how this defense responded. They did, and now how the offensive game plan for CLU going forward. They got to find a way to knock Laverne off their high horse.
His Werkheiser's fifth punt. He's averaged 39 yards on the punt. Pretty solid one there. It's going to be called for the fair catch at about the 40-yard line. I think that last drive is a drive that Laverne's going to want back. Putting that defense back out on the field is not ideal for them. However, they do hold this lead.
But you also have to think this too, Miguel. Hey, there should be no fatigue factor in this defense. They should be well refreshed. The offense did give them some type of a breather. Get ready, find a way to get this stop because, hey, you already know majority of this offense is 85% run. Now you're starting to see this pass game. You just got to keep making Joe Farley guess. When you make a quarterback clueless, Miguel, that's already a chess match advantage.
Most definitely. Joe Farley, 2 for 14 in this game. He's really not had his best stuff. They're going to hand it off to Landless. Landless is going to be met for a tackle for a loss by Laverne. It was number 92, John-Luke Vega there.
Sophomore weighing 242 pounds met the senior and Gabe Landless, the 200-pounder. You know what that means? That 42-pound cushion that Luke Vega had, he put all his weight bearing down on Gabe Landless.
It's a big play there by Laverne to stop the run, and instantly that defensive line jumps. Multiple flags, and the referees are going to convene here. See what the call is.
Offside, defense, number 99, with contact, 5-yard penalty, second out.
It's one of the few penalties we've seen from Laverne all game. They've done a good job of staying disciplined throughout.
But consistency is something that needs to happen. Again, you can't let that happen. You have to be able to watch the ball. And right now, those plays that are going to help the Kingsmen push this drive forward, because again, that could have pushed the Kingsmen way more back.
Farley now. See what they run here, and Farley try to hand it off. He finally does give it a Landless, but he was met instantly by Laverne.
I'm going to tell you, we love the interception, right? We love all those plays, but I'm going to tell you that's pure dominance.
That was Dean Martin coming in to make that play. That was a very awkward one there from Farley and Landless. It looked like Farley tried to hand it off and couldn't really find where Landless was.
Hey, you ever say like the wild wind approach, like we're feeling up here in this booth? The wild wind approach right there was Farley didn't even know that handoff exchange, and that defense just swallowed it up.
Nice play by Martin. Now Farley dropping back, third down, looks to throw, leaping catch, and it's recovered by the Kingsmen. It's Tyler Woodward getting all the way up to make the catch using all 6'4" of that height.
Tyler Woodward said, hey, just throw it somewhere down. Let's play some backyard football. I will make a play, and that was one hell of a play from number 18, and hey, that's the only one he got on, Jamar Brown.
Got to give credit to Farley there. He struggled, but he made a nice throw there when he had to on a big third down. Let's see if they try to go back to the run that they've used so often. The Lout now in the backfield. They hand it off to him. Breaks a tackle, makes another man miss, and he's finally taken down.
You're seeing the physicality up front. One thing about Coach Sanchez said, Miguel, it was the battle of how they felt like the mismatch of the O-line and the D-line. Well, right now, the D-line stepping up, and they said, hey, we're up for this challenge, and they put so much pressure on Joe Farley. And right now, he got trips more to the side.
They hand it off to the Loud. The Loud makes a few more men miss, and it looks like he might have a first down here.
And tackled by Dylan Reiner, who, again, just keep going with that ball hawk mentality. That's number 8 tackle on the game.
Yeah, Reiner's really been all over the field. Also has a pass breakup in this game. He's been key. Looks like another offsides here. The referee hasn't thrown a flag yet, but the Kingsmen are throwing their hands up, pleading for the referee to make the call. Nothing called yet. The Leopards might have dodged the bullet there. Farley now takes the snap, looks to his right, throws a one-on-one ball, and it's going to be caught. No, the referee calls the incomplete signal.
Okay, so how many times do I have to tell you, Miguel? I'm going to put the seatbelt notion. You know what the car driving, you understand in this replay. Yes, he gave up a reception over Tyler Woodward, but he came back in the biggest moment right here in that end zone. He said, I'm putting the seatbelt on this. He said, that's my child. I'm putting the seatbelt right there to make sure he is safe and sound.
Farley gave him a good shot with that throw. And Jamar Brown, we got to point out that Jamar Brown is 6 foot. Woodworth has 4 inches on him. He's still able to get the breakup. Now DeLouth has it, running to the right side. He's going to be taken down, and this is a big third down for this Leopard defense. Jonathan Scott coming in to make the tackle.
Hey, if Jonathan Scott starts to heat up too, that's pure dominance, not just from 3 guys with Dart Martin, with Dylan Reiner. If he gets in this, John Lou Vega also, you have all these guys, Jamar Brown, you have all these guys to your Justin Mondini. If you let them go and loose, it will be bad news for you.
Farley now looking to his sideline for a play. 3rd and 4. The energy in this stadium is getting louder and louder. Farley now takes the snap, hands it off to the load, and he's met by Laverne. They get the stop on 3rd down.
I don't want to feel like a broken record, Miguel. But you know what? I have to go screech like this because that is not only the biggest play of this drive, it also shows, hey, I have met you toe-to-toe, hand-to-hand, and they made a stop, and it's 4th and 4 for a big reason because the Leopards are really showing their identity right now, scrappiness.
This 4th down is very huge. The Leopards can go and steal this momentum from the Kingsmen. It's been a long drive. Farley takes the snap, pressure coming, throws, has a man, and it's caught for a 1st down, a big 4th down completion. It's to Norris Merkel with the catch.
Norris Merkel is also 6'4". The junior is wide receiver 1. And he just said, give me the ball. And right there, it made it count for the Kingsmen to keep this drive alive.
That catch was not from a lack of defense from Laverne. They were right there. Merkel just made a great catch and a nice low ball thrown by Farley. Farley now hands it off to Sumlin to the left side. Sumlin cuts it back towards the middle. He's still on his feet. He's finally taken down before he gets a nice solid gain on 1st down.
You ever hear the term in football, keep your feet moving? It doesn't matter about the pile. It matters about how long those legs. That's crucial to squatting. That's crucial to RDLs. That's crucial to just pounding the ground. And he does not seem tired whatsoever. That's why they saved the 2nd half for him, Miguel. They saved his 2nd half so he can bury this pile down.
He leads Skyak in touchdowns for a reason, and he's in prime position to do it again. They hand it off to Sumlin towards the left side. Can he get the cut he needs? He can't, and he's finally taken down. But it looks like he got a first down there. It's going to be a 1st and goal for the Kingsmen. Marlon Brown with the tackle.
Marlon Brown, that was a touchdown-saving tackle, definitely right there. And we'll see how this Leopards defense stands, because this is the best drive, I believe. 100% the Kingsmen have played all game. Crucial to the penalty that they got for help them, the catch, with the running from number 4. At any time, the Kingsmen finally found and sharpened their sword for their best attack.
The Kingsmen already throwing an interception in the red zone. I really expect them to keep the ball on the ground with Sumlin. They hand it off to Sumlin, and Sumlin barrels his way through, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. And just like that, it's a one-possession game again, Zach.
A one-possession game indeed. And who other than J.D. Sumlin, who's been one of the biggest superstars right now in this second half for the Kingsmen. And now that gives him his 8th touchdown on the season.
And the fact that Sumlin leads Skyak in touchdowns and no one else is really even close to him. Here's the PAT, and it's blocked by Laverne, a big block there. Who else but Jamar Brown, Zach?
Numero uno stabs a point off the board. And the daily call, like we like to say, it's a tradition through Laverne. The daily call is blocked PATs, because we've seen one from Laverne off of Cal Lutheran's block. Now we've seen Laverne block it off Cal Lu. It is a different mind game, 4 points separating these two teams.
Just really analyzing that play. That play is huge. Now with the score being 13-9, that's a world of difference in the score being 13-10, because now a field goal for the Kingsmen does not tie the game anymore. In order for them to take this lead, they have to score a touchdown. Puts a lot more pressure on them, Zach.
It's a lot more pressure in the jungle of Ordenmeyer Stadium, because the Cats sharpening their fangs, sharpening their claws, and the Kingsmen are like pirates trying to find their treasure, to try to get back into this game, Miguel. And right now, it's just a battle.
This kick is going to go very deep over the head of Noah Allen into the end zone for the touchback. And here comes Amaya's Hart and that Leopard offense. And last drive, Zach, they were set up in a 3rd and short, unable to complete it. And since then, the Kingsmen were able to put a touchdown on the board. This is a big drive for Hart in the offense.
When you talk about conversions, you can start to see how those 3rd downs are looking. I mean, 3-11 for Cal Lutheran, 1-7 for Laverne. And that's something to keep a note out. When these drives keep going, how are you going to convert? Right now, the Leopards offense are back on, and they want to tally more points on the board.
Hart with McCown once again in the backfield. Hart's going to look to his right and throw. And that ball was dropped on the pass. It was Devin Martin, the intended receiver. That's the first target of the game for him.
It's also a new role for Devin Martin. He was a linebacker for the Leopards last season. Now he moves to the tight end spot, so he's trying to get back into that role and familiarity. So start to see him get more reps, find his footing, and I think the ability right here of getting all these players that are athletic for the Leopards offense, Miguel, is going to add another new wrinkle to this offense.
At the end of the day, you want the ball in the hands of your best players, and those players are Jimmy Rumsey, Noah Allen, Tyler McCown. Keep an eye on those guys. Hart hands it off to McCown, but McCown is met by that defensive line, and 7 Kingsmen defenders come together to make the tackles. J.D. Vargas with the tackle.
You believe a freshman, 6'3", 280 pounds? My goodness. I'll never want to go toe-to-toe like that. I got to give credit to all those guys out there. Remember playing back in my days, if I saw that, Miguel, I would have been like, all right, it's going to hurt later.
3rd and 12 here, Zach. Once again, it all comes down to these 3rd down completions. Laverne's 1 for 7 in the game. It's 3rd and long. Expect the pass here. Hart, already a 1-play touchdown to Jimmy Rumsey earlier.
Empty.
Hart's
2 by 2.
Take the snap. Throw over the middle. He's got Julian Martinez, but does he have enough for the first down? I don't think so.
I'll tell you, look at, yes, you didn't get that first down, but you kept it out of harm's way. Okay, and Julian Martinez, another reception on that total. The difference off this, though, Miguel, and I was trying to figure out empty and mind getting off your toes over there. It was like that two-boy formation. You're trying to find a way to get a completion and just find to get some yards.
I think the Kingsmen defense definitely deserves their credit there. Their offense scores a touchdown, and they come back out and get a nice 3 and out. This punt by Wertheiser is a good one. They're going to swallow up the returner there quickly. It was Anthony Gallego not getting much on that return. And if you're watching Skyac Football, Flow Sports, and LVTV, Laverne Community Television.
And you're watching on a 4-point game right now. A 4-point game. A 4-point game, Miguel, that feels like a tug-of-war scenario. Is like who is going to bend and not break. And right now, this Leopard defense has answered the call all afternoon. But the Kingsmen did make a great drive. So right now, it feels like this 50-50 pool, but the Leopards have really brought their best foot this afternoon.
Most definitely, Zach. They've played their heart out today, and they've kept themselves in it. They're going to hand it off to Landless. Landless makes a few people miss, and he's going to be swallowed up for a short gain. It's going to set up a second and about medium here. I think, Zach, we've reached the point in the game now where nothing else that's happened mattered. It comes down to this last about 16 minutes of football to finish the game. You can start from scratch right here. You tie your chin strap a little bit tighter and you look to finish it.
Yeah, you better get that water ready for those breaks.
Farley takes the snap, play action. There's going to be a flag. The referees blow this one dead. Farley looking a little frustrated with the call there.
False start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. Second out.
False start and a 5-yard penalty there against CLU. That's going to be their 4th penalty of the game. It's going to push them back from a 2nd and 8 to a 2nd and 13. Big difference there.
Yeah, big. That's a big penalty that really pushes you back. I want to give some flowers, though, to this. Okay, all in the second half, Miguel, J.D. Sumlin has 10 rushing attempts with 56 yards and a touchdown. And now his running mate, Gabe Landless, was trying to do some damage as well.
Farley takes the snap, looking to throw, has time. In the air, he's got a man up the left sideline. Caught by Tenoris Merkel. A great ball by Farley. He just threw it over where no one else could catch him. Merkel, 6'4", using all bit of that height.
I got to tell you, that was a tug-of-war between Brown and Merkel. That was Joe Farley's best throw this afternoon. He found the bucket, and that was pinpoint accuracy right there.
Something I want to point out about Joe Farley's game is he hasn't had the best stats, but when he's had to make clutch throws, he really has been able to do it. That's been a fun matchup, Merkel and Jamar Brown. They've gone back and forth today. They hand it off now to Landless. Landless met by nobody, and Landless still on his feet into the end zone to score the touchdown and give the Kingsmen a lead, their first lead of the game.
I'm going to give you one good NFL comparison, okay? Here it is. Gabe Landless, J.D. Sumlin, the Detroit Lions of a 2-point back and a two-headed monster, and the brute experience of fresh legs. When a running back gets a break and an open wide gap, it gives a difference in the offensive line. You got to give him credit because Gabe Landless just stormed right in.
This time the PAT is good. And now the Kingsmen take a 16-13 advantage. And yeah, going back to that, Zach, to have not one, not two, but 3 running backs you can rely on to make plays, it just gives the offense so many different looks, so many different challenges for the defense they're going up against. And Laverne has done a good job overall of stopping it, but sometimes it might be a little bit overwhelming. And it showed there these last 2 drives, the Kingsmen score some touchdowns and they take the lead now.
And now with after that catch to Miguel, the Kingsmen got to 100 receiving yards, the Leopards 126. So they still dominate with the rushing yards with 215 rushing yards, Miguel, to the Leopards 52. So it's the battle of the air and the ground. The Leopards have the air, the Kingsmen have the ground.
The Kingsmen have really stayed true to their game plan, and it's working here in this second half. It was only a matter of time before they broke free. This kickoff's going to go into the backfield and for a touchdown. Touchback, excuse me.
And in reality right here, what you're going to feel, where Kaiser's going to be practicing those kicks in about a couple of seconds as well. Get ready, get loose on that net, because anything can happen. It's 33 seconds in this third quarter, Miguel. But you know what? The offense has to show the resilience to say, hey, I'm going toe-to-toe with the best team, and I'm going to put my best foot forward. And they have been, and right now, they need it the most.
Most definitely. Amias Hart motioning over Tyler McCown to his right side. He's going to hand it off. No, play action. Julian Martinez has it with some space, and Martinez is going to be hit hard and taken down, but not before he gets a first down. And that one might take us into the fourth quarter there, Zach.
It's Julian Martinez's third catch of the day, and he's been crucial with those catches. And I got to say one thing, Miguel. In that RPO zone, you even said, I got tricked a little bit on the run. The one thing about the quarterback is when you do a good fake, it really can trick a defense.
Most definitely. At the end of the third quarter, the score is the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen 16 and the Laverne Leopards 13. We got a close one. You're watching SkyAct Football on Flow Sports and Laverne Community Television.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Entering the fourth quarter, and we've got ourselves a game. The story of this game was that Cal Lutheran had the advantage. They were undefeated. They're playing a winless Laverne team, but Laverne has stayed strong and kept themselves in it. Now they find themselves down 3 to start the fourth quarter with the football, Zach.
And right here, this is where storybooks are made. History is made, and Jimmy Rumsey right there catches that ball. A little extra on the CalU defense. Got to see the chippiness is starting to come out too. This is War Miguel, capital W-A-R.
Most definitely. And Jimmy Rumsey, I like the look there by Laverne early, getting him involved, getting him the ball. He's their guy. If they get him the ball in space, he makes plays happen. Good job there for the nice gain of 5. Hart's 2 for 2 on this drive. That's very promising, as Laverne really hasn't been able to get a full drive completed today. Hart now, with McCown in his backfield, they've had some success with the pass. Once again, looking to pass, they throw it short, and it looks like a first down for Jabari Hughes Jr.
Jabari Hughes, second catch of the day. And right there, it's a crucial one right there. Helping your quarterback, coming back to the ball, fighting for more yardage. One thing I want to note too, Jimmy Rumsey, he has 2 catches on the day, 93 yards. So I'm going to tell you one thing. If I'm the Kingsmen, I'm going to find a way to limit him and make everybody else beat me. And right now, Amias Hart has found not just one guy, 2, 3, 4 guys to get the ball to. 5 guys, excuse me. Noah Allen as well.
Most definitely. A lot of noise coming from this Cal-Lu sideline. Hart's going to take it on the power, running to his right side, and he gets a solid little gain there on the first down play.
Do you want the best comparison for Hart?
I would love it.
Jalen Hurts.
I definitely see it. The way on the power plays that he tucks the ball and he's not willing to shy away from trouble from those linebackers. I love the way Amias Hart has played aggressive, Zach. I definitely see that comparison.
Cool, calm, collected, and you need it in these minutes right here.
We saw that tush push a little earlier.
Exactly, you did. And right now, let's see what they bring. It's wide receivers out front, but a shotgun formation.
Hart takes the snap, looking to throw again, has plenty of time. Looking to his right side, and looks like a fall on that sideline, a flag in the backfield as well. They might have hit Hart a little bit late there. It could be a roughing the passer call.
Fifteen-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And Laverne's gonna catch a break there. 15-yard penalty on the roughing the passer. And now this drive is starting to feel like something, Zach.
That's Cal Lutheran's 4th or 5th penalty today. They are not the most penalized team in SCIAC. And right now, they're showing very undisciplined play call right there. No, excuse me, undisciplined play. And you can't do that. You want to show that you're in the lead. You have to play with the fundamentals. And Laverne right here is the beneficiary in that.
Seems on this drive that Amias Hart is the guy that Laverne wants to let do his thing. He throws it short, he misses Julian Martinez, and can't help but think that was a missed opportunity. Martinez had a little bit of space to make that catch.
Yeah, you're trying to get your tight end again in space. You're starting to see that Julian Martinez is a big factor in this offense, especially, you know, with those out routes and giving him the ability. Look, he's still going to go to him right here. You're seeing, look, 2nd and 10. Might get a run call, might find it, but right now, it's just finding your best play call and what they're giving you. And it's stingy. It's stingy because it feels like a cover 1 look, cover 3 look right here from the defense.
Hart's gonna take the snap. He's met by pressure, trying to get rid of it quick. He does to McCown. McCown cuts inside, makes a man miss. First down, Leopards.
You want to give a screen pass? Yeah, I think you do, because at the end of the day, you felt the defensive line start creeping up, and they lost. The linebackers, the secondary lost Tyler McCown and that whole group. And it cashed in for Amias Hart to get confidence back into that drive. That's been pretty eye-opening.
That was Tyler McCown's first touch of the drive. They have yet to run the ball this drive, and they found success there with the screen. Hart once again looking to throw, rolling out to his left. Gonna take it himself to the sideline, and he gets a couple yards there. He turns the play of nothing into something to get a little bit there and set up a little bit more of a manageable 2nd down.
I've seen a whole different Amias Hart from last week. A guy that wants to protect the football, a guy that wants to make it with his legs, a guy that can do something to help the Leos get in the best position. I gotta give credit to Coach Michael Owens for what he has brought in for Laverne with the quarterback coach. He has brought in a lot of experience for his quarterback today.
1st and goal for Laverne. Big drive that the Leopards need to convert for 6 to take the lead. Hart takes the snap. Movement on that line. The referee's going to throw a flag. Let's see what the signal is here. Looks like a false start.
Offense, number 2, 5-yard penalty, first down.
5-yard penalty on that false start by Laverne, and that's just not a great way to start a 1st and goal chance in the red zone.
It's not. These penalties have been crucial, not just for Cal Lutheran, also for Laverne, and you have to find a way. These penalties have been a big factor in this close game.
1st and goal for Laverne, 14 yards to go to that end zone. Hart takes the snap, looking to his left, throws a jump ball. He comes down with it. Touchdown, Laverne. It's Jimmy Rumsey, and who else would it be, Zach?
Back shoulder fade. Gives it any day. I am sorry. If you want another explanation of why he is the best receiver, he just showed you right there. He cannot just do it on his speed. He can do it on his leaping ability. My goodness. My goodness.
Time and time again, the Leopards need a play downfield. Who do they look for? They look for Jimmy Rumsey. He is a special talent. Now work guys are out for the PAT. This is a big one for Laverne. If they punch it in, it's going to put a lot more pressure on the Kingsmen to score a touchdown. Work guys are It's going to be blocked, and it's going to roll. Can the Kingsmen scoop it up and score? Rudden following the play. He's able to bring him down, and the Leopards dodge a bullet to not give up 2 more points there. On the return, it was Logan Bowers scooping it up, but he was brought down by the quarterback, Brian Rudden.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Hey, quarterbacks can tackle too. And that might not be the greatest thing you want to hear. But again, that just saved points off the board again. But it's a 3-point affair. And right now, this is one game of the week matchup.
This has been one of the funnest football games, not even just in this conference, in all of football. You're seeing back and forth. You're seeing guys going at it. And at the end of the day, when you come to watch a game or you're watching on TV, this is exactly the type of game you're looking for. And it adds a little bit more fun to it, knowing there's that flavor of an underdog story if Laverne's able to pull this one out.
And right here, off of that touchdown from Jimmy Rumsey, that was his second of the day. He's well over 100 yards. And my goodness, that's his 5th on the season. Keep going, number 2. You're finding ways to make these defenses. And Cal Lutheran, hey, at least you got to stop on your own, and now they're figuring it. But 3-point game, it's going down the wire, Miguel.
Most definitely. For Laverne there, that's just an example of some of the struggles they've had. When things go good, there's always seems to be a play that follows that continuously wipes out the momentum as the wind's going to knock that ball down.
Hey, the wind's been a factor, especially up here. We're getting all our papers scrambled and everything. Hey, it happens, but you got to roll with the punches. The Kingsmen still have an opportunity, and it's a lot of football game left to play.
These last 4 minutes to start this half have just felt like an eternity. It's been back and forth by both sides. Here on the return is CLU. He's making a few men miss. It's DeLouth, and DeLouth is finally met at about the 35-yard line, and the referee's going to blow this one dead.
And you're seeing the stats here, what I'm seeing just in the, let's say, just in this 3rd and 4th quarter alone. So in the 4th quarter, 14 rushing yards from Laverne. But the biggest thing I want to say in total for stats, Miguel, Cal Lutheran has won the time possession for 29 minutes and 55 seconds. Laverne has 18 minutes and 60 seconds. But again, it doesn't matter on the time possession because look it, the scoreboard says differently.
With that limited amount of time, the Laverne Leopards have made the most of it. They hold the lead. That last drive was their best drive all game. They were able to do it from start to finish. They didn't require good field position or one play. They're going to hand it off to Sumlin. Sumlin trying to bounce outside to the sideline, but he's met and taken down. It was Dylan Reiner again, and I feel like we've said his name more than a handful of times today.
Hey, he's well over his number on his chest of tackles, and man, oh man, that guy has been everywhere. Credit to his ball hawking skills, his tackling ability, the way to just stop this high-powered Cal Lutheran offense. He has been a monster out there.
Farley now might be required to make some passes if Laverne puts them in favorable spots, but until then, they're going to hand it off again to Sumlin. Sumlin's met at the line of scrimmage by number 21, Jake Wisnat, and he's made a handful of tackles as well today.
Yeah, the senior is really bringing it alone to himself and trying to show his experience. And also, again, from a safety spot, Miguel, when you see a guy like that also playing wheels, so that means flex position. That means not just linebacker, safety spot, you have to be a heavy hitter, and you have to be one of the best tacklers on the team.
He's made a lot of tackles. Empty backfield, Sumlin is to the left of Farley. Could be a passing draw in here. Farley looking to throw, 3rd down, rolling to his left. Throws it down the field, and it's overthrown. The Leopards stay strong on 3rd down, and now it sets up a potential punt.
I'll tell you right there, that's great credit and coverage from Justin Monzini and Dylan Reiner. He was trying to get that pass to Andrew Armanenta because he was seeing his tight end finding a way to get more quarterback friendly, but the pressure rolling to the opposite side for a right-handed quarterback. When you roll to your left, you're off a platform throw, and that's very hard to do, Miguel.
Yeah, that's something I want to point out too. The Leopards know that the Kingsmen are going to run the ball early in the drive, but if you put them in passing downs, you put pressure on that quarterback Farley, and that they make a great play there. Rumsey's going to call the fair catch. A little bit behind the 20-yard line. Here comes that offense once again, coming off a great touchdown on that last drive. It was a 9-play, 75-yard touchdown drive for Laverne. Looking to emulate it here, because if they score a touchdown, Zach, you can't help but think it might be the dagger.
Can be the dagger, and also can give even more momentum for a team that's really fuming. But again, I agree what you're saying, Miguel. I think this is an opportunity for Laverne to really show the dominance here in Orton-Meyer Stadium as an apex predator and the Leopard.
And this is uncharted territory for Laverne. They haven't been in a position this season where they're winning late in the game. This could be their first win. So let's see what they do here. Hart looking for McCown. He's able to find him. McCown barrels his way through, first down, and a great start to the drive for Laverne.
I'm going to tell you how composed both of those two players were. Myas Hart, when things were going around him, he found his way to step up to the pocket, trust that McCown was going to be there, be quarterback friendly. The running back did it. Again, running backs have a big factor in the pass game. Right there it shows you. And again, the Leopards starting to drive.
Something I've noticed, Zach, is as soon as the Leopards started going more towards the air, they found a lot of success, and they're able to get their running back involved too in the air. Hart, play action. Met by pressure, he throws it short, but Martinez is crushed as he catches it. Nice play there by Art Orta to come in and swarm up Martinez.
No, definitely as well. Orta just definitely met Martinez where he needed to. I also want to say too, hey, there was no sack on that play. That's also a credit. But he also feel that he didn't want to put his receiver in a bad position. But again, there's no loss on it. There's no loss compared to only a 1-yard loss compared to what, a 7-yard loss? Again, that's knowing football, knowing your situation awareness.
Defensive chance coming from that Kingsman sideline. They're trying to will their defense to get that offense back on the field. Hart takes the snap. Play action, looks to throw, and it's batted down. It was number 10, Drew Nees, putting the pressure on the quarterback and getting that deflection. Now it's a 3rd and long for Laverne.
Now you're starting to see how Cal Lutheran is trying to get back into this and show their dominance as a defense. Again, it's like you're playing chess. If I make this move with my pawn, how is this person going to deflect? Right now, it's been nothing but a slugfest. One uppercut, one jab. We're just trying to find the knockout punch here in Orton-Meyer Stadium, Miguel.
I feel like in a situation like this, keep your eye on Jimmy Rumsey. Every single time they need a guy, they look for him. Hart takes the snap, rolls to his right. He's going to keep it himself and get the first down. He's lit up. It looked like he tried to slide as he was hit, but nonetheless a first down.
Well, there's an injured player in Jabari Hughes, and you got to make sure he's okay because he took a lot of that damage as well when he was blocking.
Let's hope Jabari Hughes is okay.
See that replay, and hey, the fact is, when your number's called, and Hart, he took it again, and that was been killing the Kingsmen when open field. He's been running those plays very efficiently.
Going back to that Jalen Hurts comparison, he just was willing to put his body on the line for that first down. 3rd and 11, high pressure. You don't want to give them the ball back. He takes matters into his own hands, and that's what a great quarterback does. Great play by Myas Hart. Now the Leopards drive resets, 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line.
I want you to see, whatever. I want you to see that on those wideouts, I'm going to call a timeout.
Must lead the game for one play as he was injured on the last play.
Because of the injury on that last play, Jabari Hughes is going to have to exit. Here we go. 7.5 minutes to play in the game. Myas Hart is showing heart here, continuing the battle. Looks like a free play for the Leopards. They're going to throw it downfield on that left side. Jump ball! And not able to come down with it is Rumsey. but it was definitely a jump on the play, setting up that free play for Laverne.
Yeah, I mean,
Defense, number 42, neutral zone infraction, 5-yard penalty. Second out, third out.
So it is going to be an offside. It's going to give 5 more yards there for the Leopards. I like the football IQ by Hart. He picked up on it. He gave a one-on-one ball to Jimmy Rumsey down the sideline, and Rumsey almost made a ridiculous catch once again.
Hey, football 101 knowledge. And even for the referees, understanding it's a free play, automatic first down. And the quarterback just got to give a chance. Now you're seeing a 2-by-1 look. 2 receivers to the left.
Play action. Hart has it. He's met by pressure. He makes the miss. Hart is still on his feet over the middle. Slides down for the first down.
So Coach Owens has done a phenomenal job, the quarterback coach for the Leopards. And I think the one thing you have to see is not only that you're seeing Amias Hart just change and grow into this whole different player that we've seen from last week. He has done something phenomenal in confidence and unlocking this ability. He has ability to run and now even slide. And I definitely been wetting on that field practicing that slide because that was beautiful, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Hart 8 rushes for 61 yards. The leading rusher for Laverne. They finally hand it off to McCown, and McCown barrels his way forward. Big run there, and that Leopard sideline erupts as they say they got the first down. Back-to-back first downs for Laverne.
I'm going to say one thing. The offensive line is finding that groove as well. Okay, the calling from Roberts, finding that groove as well. But I want to say something for Cal Lutheran. This is where you pick your best play and formation, find it, because you can't let this mental frustration. Your back is against the wall a little bit. The game is still within a play. But right now, you have to see and try to get Laverne off their footing because right now it's firing on all cylinders.
Laverne has really found their rhythm, and they found it at a right time. They hand it off to McCown again. And McCown's going to get a gain of about 2 or 3 there. But something to notice and point out too, Zach, is every single play Laverne is running, that clock continues to trickle down. We got a little bit under 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play. And when you have possession and a lead, you just want to give the Kingsmen as little chance to come back with that time as possible.
Oh, definitely that, Miguel. And I mean, the comparison right now, all the fourth quarter has gone to the Leopards. And they're doing some mightily methodical drive.
This is back-to-back great drives from them, and this is something we really haven't seen from them all year. These long, disciplined drives, and they're playing great football right now. They hand it off. No, excuse me, Hart keeps it, but he's brought down very toughly, and there's a lot of contact, and Laverne does not like that.
Yeah, Drew knees on that contact right there and just swarms Hart. And right there, it's probably the only negative plays of him rushing the ball, and that's a credit to the linebacker and Drew Neese, who also plays defensive end as well.
A lot of contact there from Neese and Hart, and it makes you wonder, does that give Amias Hart a little bit more fire to complete this 3rd and 10? They got a 3rd and 11 earlier in their drive. They're 2 for 9 on 3rd down in the game. The biggest one yet. Hart takes the snap, met by pressure, trying to evade it. He stays on his feet, and he's finally brought down.
I'll tell you, that's the one time I really seen him get pressure majority of the game. That was a closing, collapsing pocket, and even him navigating. I know it wasn't in the positive, but at the end of the day, he protected the ball. He found a way. It's 4th and 9. And right here, this is definitely the biggest play of the game.
4th and 9 on the 33. 3.5 minutes to play. Laverne leads by 3. Let's see if they try to run a play or just try to get the Kingsmen a hop off sides. Hart's looking to the sideline here for the call. Play clock is going to trickle down, and they're going to take the delay of game there. Or Laverne's actually going to take the timeout, not risk those 5 yards. And 3 minutes, 19 seconds to play, and it looks like they're probably going to punt this ball back, Zach.
This was the best quarter, though, for them rushing. They averaged 5.9 yards a carry to a team coming in. I believe McCown was averaging only 3.4 yards a carry. That's a positive, but like you said, my pundit, we don't know. But at the end of the day, football is a game of inches, and you need to find a way to inch this one out. Both of these teams need to, because it is a close, nail-biting game. Whoever's watching it at home, watching it here, up here in the box, we're biting our nails, pacing back and forth and thinking, what will be the final straw on this one?
Werkheiser is going to run out, and it's going to be a punt. And if you're Laverne, your mindset is our defense all season has really kept us in games. On the biggest part of the season, biggest part of the game, we're going to rely on them to get the stop, at the very least to only hold them to a field goal to keep this game tied. Werkheiser's been busy today. Here comes the punt from Werkheiser. He's going to try to barrel them inside the 10. This punt is a good one, and he does just that. And here comes Joe Farley in that Kingsman offense. 3 minutes to play, 3 timeouts left. They're down by 3, and they need a last-minute drive to take the lead or at least tie and send it into a potential overtime.
It doesn't matter about the stats like we said all the time. They're probably hearing it at home like, oh, come on. It's the truth. Look, you're 5 for 19 today, Joe Farley. But in a character-building situation, you ever ask when adversity hits you the most? Right here in 3 minutes and 12 seconds, can you find a way? And for the Leopards defense, can you save the day and get your first win?
They're going to hand it off to DeLout. DeLout's taking it up the sideline, and he's met by Jamar Brown. Solid pickup there, and he gets himself out of bounds to stop that clock from going down. Every second counts in a game like this. Getting out of bounds is very key. Expect the Kingsmen to work those sidelines. Farley takes the snap once again to DeLout, the same side. DeLout is met. Looks like he's able to get enough for the first down there and move the chains.
You got to credit Coach Anthony Lugo just keeping going back to this run game. I mean, the fact is that's their bread and butter, and they don't want to stray away from it. And that's why they have 224 yards today.
Potentially could be the last play before we hit to that 2-minute warning. Already a first down in the drive. They hand it off to DeLout. He gets himself in trouble, and he's short of the first down.
And who other than locked down Jamar Brown, and he stuffed him for a 4th and 1.
The Kingsmen are going to take a timeout there. This game is coming down to the wire. If you're watching Skyac Football, Flow Sports, and LVTV, Laverne Community Television. This is a game for the history books for sure. Back and forth. They've stayed true to the run in this drive. The Leopards came through with a big stop on 3rd and short. Now it's 4th and 2. And this next play could make or break the game.
Yes, indeed. And that's something is, hey, do you have the best play for your offense, the best play for your defense? And I'm going to be it. You know what? I'm going to do this one more time, Miguel.
Let's do it.
I bet all the time, been 0 for 3 today. Well, you know what? I bet it's going to be a run. I 100% bet it's going to be a run, and it's going to come right to Duluth up in the middle.
Hand it off to Duluth down the middle. Does he have enough? He does. First down for the Kingsmen. There's that Zachary Gretsch guarantee for the first down. Mondini there with the tackle, and that's going to send us to the 2-minute warning. Backs against the wall, the Kingsmen were. They get the big 4th down completion to keep the game alive. They have 2 timeouts to play with plenty of time to get down this field. Zach, is there anything specific you might want to see from the defense, possibly some pressure or more of a coverage look here?
I want to see them get after the quarterback, and they got to play the secondary to their best ability. You can't let Tanoris Merkel get the ball. You can't get Tyler Woodworth get the ball. Those guys do not need the ball. Let someone else beat you if someone can, and you have to have that ability. But the defense, I'm asking whether it's Jamar Brown, I'm asking whether it's Justin Mondini, or even the whole defensive line. I'm asking to step it up. Coach Sanchez said, I want to find a playmaker. I want to find a leader. Right now, in this moment, the leader can come out in 2 minutes on this big type of drive to shut them down and make the biggest upset in SCIAC we've seen in a whole long while.
Yeah, something I want to highlight on, Zach, that you brought up. You said, I want them to go after the quarterback. I feel like when teams have a lead, they play a little bit too conservative for their own good. Hopefully Laverne goes out and plays like they're down. Play like they have something to lose right here. Big drive coming. Joe Farley takes the snap, looking to throw. Has a lot of time, but now he's going to roll out to his right. He's in a dangerous territory. Throw over the middle. Who came down with it? No one does. And it's going to be incomplete. And that throw was a nail biter. It was insane to watch that.
I'm going to tell you, that was gutsy. That was a gunslinging type of play to say, hey, he's down there somewhere. Luckily, you're living down another day. But again, that was triple coverage, and now we'll get to see it. But it's a lot of man-on-man coverage you're going to see from here on out. 100% from Laverne.
Very risky throw by Farley last time. He's going to look to throw again. He's got a man in a one-handed grab by the receiver, and there's Tanoris Merkel. You said don't let them beat us, and Merkel comes down with the catch for the first down.
I am telling you right now, when you gave 16 a chance, he just did it with a fancy play. There was some miscommunication in that zone, Miguel, because the safety came down in the corner. They needed to figure out who had who.
Farley looking to throw. Throws to his left, looking for Merkel. Jamar Brown puts his left hand on it to bat it down.
It doesn't matter where you throw to him. He is going to find it. It's a battle between the best of the best in SCIAC. One of the best corners, if not the best corner in SCIAC, not one of the best receivers in SCIAC. It's Norris Merkel. It's him battling with Jimmy Rumsey. You were going to see the best players come out on the brightest day in this afternoon, and it's come up to that.
Merkel and Brown have had themselves a battle, trading blows. Farley now has time to throw, steps up and throws a laser over the middle. Caught for a first down. It's number 2, Jake Buys.
This is the Joe Farley I've been waiting to see all afternoon. And right now, he just showed you with precision off a seam route, or more like a post. He delivered it, stayed in there, and that's why they got that first down, Miguel.
Farley's made some big throws. They hand it off to Sumlin. Sumlin's met for a tackle for a loss. A nice recovery there by Laverne.
I believe that's John Luke Vega right there on that tackle.
Timeout taken by the Kingsmen. What a game we have on our hands. A little bit over a minute. The Kingsmen are in prime position to score. If you're watching, SCIAC Football, Flow Sports, and LVTV, Laverne Community Television. What a game, Zach.
What a game indeed. And one thing I forgot to note, the Leopards have 2 timeouts. The Kingsmen have 1. So they're going to not want to burn any of those. They want to be able to keep those under in this scenario. And you got to realize, hey, 3 points is successful for the defense. Even to stop something like that for the offense right now. This has been the best Kingsman drive. And that's why you were seeing, we were waiting to see when the number 1 offense was coming. It came right there. And you know what? It wasn't even on the ground, Miguel. It was through the air.
Yeah, Jake Farley statistically has not been there. But when he needs to make the throws, he's done it time and time again, making some big throws, especially on 3rd down. Farley takes the snap, looking to throw again. He's met by pressure. He evades it. He stays on his feet. Can Farley get into the end zone? Untouched he can. Touchdown Kingsmen, and they take the lead.
If you were to say that Joe Farley was going to get a rushing touchdown, I would have been like, that's pretty crazy. But right there, he took his number, trusted himself, and now this game has turned upside down.
Farley was met by pressure. They brought the pressure from that right side. The moment he evaded it, the Leopards were in trouble because all that space was wide open and no one even touched Farley as he's able to enter the end zone and take the lead. What a great drive by him, really flipping the script on his game. Big PAT coming, and he drills it down the middle, and now the Leopards need a touchdown to win, Zach.
Hey, you find your best play, you go with the best scheme. Amias Hart has been playing phenomenal, and we'll see how this offense goes. This is what you want to see, the dream and the shoulders. I know it's nerve-wracking for coaches, but in reality, whenever a kid goes in backyard football, they think about those big moments, those ones that make memorable time. Well, Amias Hart has an opportunity. His offense has an opportunity right here. They find a way. They have 2 timeouts to work with. You work your 2-minute offense. You find the best possible thing to go. And right here, the Leopards could do something differently. They could write their storybook. It is in their hands, Miguel.
Yeah, and something I think that the Leopards have in their advantage is they have the guys to make plays. You got Noah Allen, you got Jimmy Rumsey. Get those guys involved and let them be the guys that take you down the field as you look to score a touchdown. You definitely have enough time. Amias Hart has the arm talent to throw it downfield. It's about giving him time in the pocket to let those receivers open themselves up downfield. Big drive coming.
And a big drive indeed, and even this return. Look at Noah Allen is a speedster. A couple years ago I saw him, the way he can do this when in space. Let's see if he can try to get some yardage here to help his offense for this drive.
Kingsmen have really kicked the ball deep into the end zone for touchbacks. Expect more of the same. This time it's actually going to hang up for Allen. Allen has a chance to return. Let's see if some magic can happen. Allen is met a little bit past the 20-yard line, and the Leopards have 51 seconds and 2 timeouts to make something happen.
Alejandro Ramirez right there with the tackle. And right here, like I said, in Ortmeyer Stadium, no one has left. Everyone has been there on the edge of their seat. Cal Lutheran traveled well. Laverne home crowd is there, and this is what you want. Coach Sanchez against Coach Lugo, 2 of the best coaches in Skyac and Amias Hart, having a standstill performance of just outstanding work.
The energy in this stadium is very clearly affecting this game. Hart takes the snap, dropping back, looks to throw. He's got Rumsey. Rumsey unable to break that first tackle. He's taken down. That clock is still ticking. No timeouts taken by the Leopards yet.
You just got to find another completion. This is where you go. And if I'm a quarterback, Miguel, I find a way to get an easy completion. They got to get this formation going. There's too much time bleeding on the clock, and they got to get it going to try to get somewhere past out of their territory.
And the Leopards are wasting a lot of time here. Now only 20 seconds to play with, and Hart is hit. Ball's out. Recovered by the Leopards, and now they're going to take the timeout, 15 seconds. And Zach, you can't help but think they wasted too much time after that completion.
If you want to see
Hart down on the ground there.
Scary sighting for the Laverne Leopards. Their quarterback goes down.
Training staff is there for Amias Hart. This is the last thing you want to see on a football field. They're going to give them plenty of time to meet with Hart here and work on him as necessary. Very scary injury here. Hart's going to stand up and be able to walk off on his own weight, and that's just a good sign overall. Very scary hit there.
Now Brian Rudden checks in the game, and you know, there's also another history waiting. 17 seconds. We'll see, Miguel. You got to put your best foot forward. You got to find it away. And now that's something, an inspirational factor. You got to go play for your injured teammate. Go help him and lift him up right here for a possible victory.
The Leopards still have 1 timeout to work with. They still can work that middle of the field. Rudden freshly entered into the game. Throws to Noah Allen, and Noah Allen comes forward and makes a sliding catch. He's unable to get out of bounds. The clock is going to stop for now. The clock is still going to start running now, and they're going to take the spike. 10 seconds. I mean, could we talk about the throw there by Brian Rudden? You've been ice cold on that bench. You come in the biggest moment of the game, and you throw a great ball to Noah Allen, keeping them alive, keeping the faith for the Leopards.
Now, the one thing the defense is going to play is they're going to make them go in as much field as possible. One thing about these receivers, wherever they go, if they can try to get out of bounds, yes. If not, go with a quick completion, go timeout, and make this Hail Mary attempt on the next play manageable for this quarterback.
Yeah, if you're Laverne, you definitely want to get the ball to at least midfield to give Brian Rudden a chance on the Hail Mary. Rudden takes the snap, looking to throw. He's got Rumsey, and he gets to midfield just like we said. 6 seconds to play, and I believe, Zach, this might be the Hail Mary attempt.
I give him one more play. One more play in general, just to try to get it. Go a short completion, timeout, and then that's the Hail Mary. You got to find 10, 5 yards, something. Get it to where it goes right directly in the end zone because, again, short coming through it, you'll see.
Could we see a potential run as well to just try to gain a little bit more yards, get down as quick as possible, or do you believe they just go for the pass here, Zach? It's a tough
Man,
call.
you're putting me in a tough situation, but I think this, okay? I do the quick play. Even if it's a run, fine, timeout. You got to get as much yardage, and you got to get it close to that end zone because at the end of the day, for that next play, they have to take the shot. They have to find a way, and that's something with an offense works on. They do work on in that situations, and you got to give credit to both of these coaches who are playing their heart out. And right here, it's coming to historic fashion.
This has been such a great game, and it's only right that it ends on one play. The Kingsmen are playing 3-man deep, so it looks like they're expecting the Hail Mary. Let's see if Laverne does it. They still have that timeout to work with. McCown is in the backfield. Rudden takes the snap. He's going to look to throw, try to get it off quick. It's caught, and he's going to get out of bounds with 2 seconds left. And a great job by Laverne to get that pass out quick, make it a little easier. Great call there by Zach as well to predict that one.
Look at Miguel. At the end of the day, it's a balancing conversation to understand situational football. You have to find a way. And right here, you are going to find your best play. Offensively, defensively, you give it up. And credit to whoever this ends and how it ends. This has been one of the best SkyAct games I've been a part of. One of the best SkyAct games I've even seen firsthand.
I think for this Hail Mary, Zach, it's all about height. It's all about getting up there. Expect the tight end, Julian Martinez. He's 6'3". You need him in the middle of it somehow, and you also need the Rumseys and the Allens down the field. Rudden has made some big throws off the bench. Let's see if he has the arm to get it in the end zone. I am completely confident in him to be able to do that.
He definitely does, Miguel. I've seen him in pre-warm-ups before. He can throw at least 55 yards.
The play that decides the game. It's been a great 60 minutes of football, and these last 2 seconds are going to decide who wins and who loses. 3-man deep for the Kingsmen. The Leopards got themselves set up on that left side. Rudden takes the snap. He's met by pressure. Rolls to his left. Can he get it to the end zone? He can. Jump ball! And it's not able to be brought down, and the Kingsmen win. And that's the game. The Kingsmen are going to hold on and win it 23-19. What a game. Brian Rudden gave them a chance. Rumsey went up for the catch. He just wasn't able to come down with it. What a game.
What a game indeed, Miguel. Look at, yes, it didn't go in the Leopards' favor, but they have a lot of grow. We've seen a new team. We've seen a new identity. They hung around with the best team in SkyAct. Let's not forget that. Cal Lutheran knows they want to clean it up too. Yes, they proved into 5-0, and the Leopards go to 0-4. But you know what? This is the difference here, Miguel, okay? We're going to see how both of these teams respond. How do you go more dominant on CLU, and how do the Leopards go from here? Because, look, they're playing CMS next next week. And I see that the Leopards have a lot to work with. They have proven right here on this field that, hey, success is very in the near future.
Yeah, most definitely. I think something Coach Sanchez has talked to us about is getting 1% better every day. This is a game where the Leopards get at least 20% better. They played a great football game. They were able to really defy the odds. I've been critical of the fact that they haven't been able to put together long, good, disciplined drives. They did that twice today. They played great football. They took care of the football, not a lot of turnovers. I think there's so much to be happy about. The fact that you took the #1 team in SCIAC down to the last play of the game with a chance to win it on the Hail Mary. There's just so much positives to take from Laverne. I know you don't leave with the win, but you're definitely holding your head up high with a loss like this.
No, 100%, hey, and you got to give a credit to all the crew here, all the fans, and credit to our spotter today with Layla, just everything. Everyone did all their hands on deck, the coaching staff, CLU. And, you know, it's been a pleasure, Miguel. I'm wishing you the best of luck with this season going ahead. You have a great future bright here in Laverne, California, man.
Yeah, it's a great game, and thank you once again, Zach. It was so much fun calling these games with you. I love the opportunity to be able to do it, and we called a great football game today. CLU's going to leave with the win, but the Leopards are going to leave with a lot of positives as well. And the final score for the game is the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen 23 and the Laverne Leopards 19. I'm Miguel Navarro signing off with my partner Zachary Gretsch.